fucking stop sign.
Night I came home from the bar and I'd been fucking this one chick and she brought another chick with her, right? But the other chick, she was like, hey, we're gonna try to work her in and just don't try to jump in or anything like that. And I was like, yeah, cool. So they start making out and getting it on in the bed behind me while I'm playing Call of Duty with a bunch of my friends, and they were like, dude, are you serious? Is there really chicks getting it on behind you? I was like, yes. And they were like,
as an
nah,
idiot,
you're fucking
keep playing? What the hell?
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, it was as much vagina as I was getting at the time. I was living in like a really expensive like apartment, so I was getting booty.
Still,
it was not a thing. I
Tail
still
and
ended
you're
up
playing computer games. I mean, jeez.
That right there lets you know how unimportant fucking pussy is to me. But I took the headpiece. I was like, all right, guys, I'm not going to be able to talk for a minute. You guys can listen. And I chunked the headpiece, the Bluetooth headpiece, like right up to like near them eating each other out and shit. And all my friends got to listen to it. And then when they were done, I was like, what's up, guys? They're like, you're a legend, bro. You're a fucking legend. I was like, yeah, I know. See you guys later. I got to go jump in that.
So with that, welcome everyone to this week's edition of Veterans Talk Weekly.
Me? Is that fucking
please tell me that made it in, please.
Yes, it did.
Yes. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Thank you, Jared.
Best intro ever.
Beautiful. Oh yeah.
Where did you start it at? Just so I'll go back and listen. But where'd you start it at?
Like right at the beginning of that story.
Soundbite, anyone?
Hey, I can bring verification for anybody that doesn't believe me. I can get somebody to verify that story.
Yeah. Pictures? No, scratch that. Video or didn't happen?
No, it was audio. We didn't record it, but I do have friends of mine that are still friends of mine today. Probably because of that one reason. They're still friends of mine today, and they're
waiting for it to happen again.
Oh yes, they are. They're absolutely. I can't believe that. Oh man, I said some pretty. What was I saying? I said pussy. I don't worry about pussy. You know. God, Jared, you should have let me know I'm dead tired. I wouldn't have said that. I'd have talked like the good Christian I portray myself to be.
Well, come on. How many of those types of people do you really think are coming over to this channel?
Oh no, I know. I could give a shit less, bro. But that is a true story, though. I did that shit, and my friends were like, "You are so boss, man." I was like, "Nah, bro. This is daily life to me." I wanted you guys to hear what's going on because I was just playing video games. I didn't give a fuck.
But a few of you guys missed the tail end for this week's intro where some jackass decided to blow through a stop sign right in front of me when I was heading home on the bike. So yeah.
How did that end up?
Oh, I anticipated enough, so I was able to stop and actually literally point to the stop sign to the jackass as he passed me. And his window was cracked, so motherfucker heard me.
Yeah, that's why I ride bikes, man.
I've worked many deaths from motorcycle accidents, and I'd say 95% of the times it's motorcycle versus car. The driver of the car's response is, I didn't see him.
That's what I was saying, man. It's like it's so easy to not see somebody on a bike, and
yeah, practically wearing a signpost says, "I ain't here."
Oh no! Here's the kicker: the jacket I was wearing today was my white and high vis mesh jacket. There is no fucking excuse for that guy to not see me.
Hey, regardless. Unless you were wearing a, no reflection at all, black suit, and your bike was completely black, it would still be his responsibility.
Right.
If you were wearing an Army PT belt, you would have been safe.
Yeah, if you watch the video, the guy clearly doesn't even try to stop or slow down at the stop sign.
No, he didn't.
With the car in front of him, so it would have been his fault whether Jared was naked or not.
Well, the motorcycle that I have now is not that loud. It's a Goldwing. The one I had before would set off car alarms, and still people would try to come into my lane.
Well, and part of that mythology, I don't agree with the axiom that loud pipes save lives, because when you think about it, which direction is the majority of the sound from your tailpipe going?
Behind you.
And where do most of the people who hit you on a bike come from?
Beside you.
Or in front.
That.
Yeah.
but it's an excuse to have loud ass pipes, and I love loud ass pipes.
Yeah, but mine got louder. I think I might have an exhaust leak somewhere. I just haven't taken the time to pull the exhaust off to inspect it.
Well, I had Cobra straight pipe, and they were loud as fuck.
So, Jared, did you get the new pictures I sent you on Discord?
I did. I haven't gotten to add them in as of yet, because it's been kind of busy.
I figured that you still having to deal with the minion.
Oh yeah, but you still can't beat the Joe Biden meme. I mean, that was great.
I don't know. I think I've got a picture of Jared's next bike, by the way.
Yeah, if you want to show that one, I have to say they definitely went top notch with the headlamp there.
Yeah, I'd rock that.
Wow, that's badass.
Is that like a Fisher Price flashlight?
No,
that's the battle lantern.
That's a battle lantern from the boat.
Oh my god, it is! Wow.
Damn it, Team Skeptic.
No, you know what? I'm just looking at it. It looked like an old Fisher Price flashlight I used to have as a child. I used to scare the ghost away with it.
As a child, yes, of course. Mm-hmm.
No,
as a child,
early 40s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wonder where I could get a battle lantern. That would be awesome to have one.
Well, don't you? Do you have a 3D printer or know somebody who has one? You could just build one.
No, I want an actual battle lantern.
Yeah, a legitimate, genuine flip switch, test button. But here's the question. Would you try to retrofit a lithium battery into it, or would you keep with the standard sealed NiCad?
Well, the original, until it went bad, and then I would have to, modify it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only way to go is to stick some lithium-ion cells in there and use a buck or a boost regulator.
Here you go, Furball.
I'm guessing it's a 6-volt bulb in there.
Thanks. I see that.
9
Rub
or
it
12.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Or just go standard. You know, if you have a cordless drill already, just make a socket for that, and use a buck regulator. I mean, and you're done. You don't have to mess around all that much.
No, we don't trust Furball with powered tools anymore.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
I no longer have an entry point on my hand. It is completely healed over.
Good, so you can do it again then. Perfect.
But do you have
I gave the drill back.
But do you have the scar tissue?
Oh God, yeah.
Well, that's going to be something you can tell your children. I tried to debunk a flat earther by doing the Cavendish experiment, and my hand slipped out, or my drill slipped when I was trying to drill into the lead balls.
Or just, you were slinging the lead around too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost looks like it could be a 50 cal wound.
Yeah, you've caused a lot of flat earth butt wounds.
Yeah. Then again, if you got hit in the hand by with a BMG at, let's just say, half a mile, I don't think you would have much of a hand left.
I don't think you would have a hand at all.
Even if you were hit exactly the same place, it was just you would have a couple of pegs left.
Well, at medium range, you don't even have to hit someone with a BMG. You just have to get
within
close.
a foot or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Just the shockwave from it causes damage.
Yeah.
So since Jay brought it up, time for a bitch session. Fuck the Army and fuck assignments. Dude, the past week has just been a fucking nightmare of what the hell to do.
Somebody didn't talk to their detailer the right way.
Oh no! Similar situation is why I got fucked before going to Japan. So
yeah, when I left Carson, there was no agreement because with officer PCSs in the Army, it's a little different. All those movements are controlled by Big Army, and they only do it twice a year. So you're in one of two move cycles, summer or winter, and before both of those move cycles, Big Army Human Resources Command has a conference, and they approve the authorizations of what specific billets can be filled. So if there's not a billet that can be filled at that spot, my assignments manager cannot put you there. Doesn't exist. The Army hasn't approved it for this particular cycle.
Yep.
So when I came to Korea 8 months ago, the agreement was, I can't promise anything, but we will do everything we can to get you back to Colorado. There was no...
The Army is the worst with just taking care of people. They're terrible.
Yeah, there was no, it's not looking promising. There was no, I can't tell you if it's going to be there or not. It might not happen. It was just, we want you to come back. We'll do everything we can to get you there. So my list came out a week and a half ago. I have 44 different options. None of them are Colorado.
Any out here in Washington?
State or DC?
State.
Yes, there are 3 options out in Washington State, but hell no.
What are your options for Texas?
Fort Hood, hell no.
Oh, come on, you'd be like 3 hours from me.
No,
Dude,
hell no.
I'd drive down there just to mushroom stamp you while you're sleeping.
Fort Hood is the biggest Army base. It is also the busiest CID office in the Army. I like my children. I'd like to see them while they grow up.
It could be worse. You could be stuck in Irwin.
That's on my list of options.
Yeah, that's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. I retired out of there, so yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if you wanna, do you know if they have a CID office at China Lake?
No.
No, that'd be NCIS over there.
Oh wait, God, I keep forgetting you're Army.
I'm Army.
Dipshit. Yeah.
He's an actual.
There is a
soldier.
spot in Monterey, California, though.
Oh, Monterey is nice,
but expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you would get cola, maybe.
Yeah, he's gonna get cola and housing.
Let me ask you something about the CID and the Army. Like, is a typical thing that you investigate, like who set up the tent wrong?
Oh, that was my job.
Yeah, what I usually investigate is what happened inside that tent after it was set up.
Well, if it was the Navy, then we all know what happened inside the tent. I can't speak about the Army.
Yeah.
Your
both
Cheerios
of the gentlemen
aren't safe.
Yeah, both of the gentlemen come walking out, and one of them is crying. That's the Navy.
And he's walking kind of weird.
No, that's the guy who's not crying. God, y'all are dry crowd tonight. That was a good one, actually.
No, you want to go someplace cold. End up going to Minot.
No, I can't go to Minot. But Fort Wainwright, Alaska is on the list.
There you go.
Oh, don't do that to yourself, man. Come on, man.
Hey, I spent 4 years in Minot.
No, do it to yourself, but don't do it to the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like hunting and fishing and doing shit like that, Wainwright is the area you want to be if you want to do an outdoor stuff.
Yeah, my dad served at Minot back in the 60s.
Oh yeah, it gets cold up there.
So
I don't know.
here's all the issues we're running into for trying to decide. And it's not. I literally have to like rack and stack on an online system what I want as options. Not that actually does anything. There's a strong possibility that what I put as like 37, that's what they're going to send me to. But we're trying to figure out what we want, how we want to stack it, and our stipulations our internal requirements are: I have a dog, a husky that is diabetic and blind, so we can't go anywhere that my dogs would have to fly. And my wife would like to be able to drive home to the Dakotas.
You're a warrant, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you got Fort Leonard Wood on that list?
Or Riley?
Fort Leonard Wood is on that list, and that is our schoolhouse, and it's nothing but privates, so no.
Fucking
I don't want to
lost
be
in the woods.
Yeah, I do not want to be investigating privates touching privates during basic training.
Oh, come on.
In this day and age, it's more like fucking drill sergeants touching privates. These fucking dudes.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah.
Oh god.
Cadre and students fucking mixing. Yeah, it's all that fun.
That's a crime now.
I know. I was a drill sergeant. I had to go through that kind of shit.
No. It's an actual crime now. Before it was an Article 92 violation. Now I think it's Article 97, up to 5-year punishment. It's its own crime.
Wow.
This is a good time to point out that it's no cakewalk being an officer.
Oh no, you look at someone the wrong way as an officer, you might get an Article 15 at least.
Yeah, it's not as much fun as people think. And
yeah, they wonder why we're increasing our army force, and that's because there's so many goddamn soy boys that are out there that are worried about a drill sergeant touching them too hard in the chest. Give me a fucking.
And that's why I don't want to go to a basic training base.
Oh,
I'm just spitballing here, but do you guys think that Furball would ever be allowed now to be a drill sergeant?
No.
Not
no,
this
drill.
late in his career.
Sergeant.
No.
yeah,
No. Yeah.
They can't even. You can't even. You
I
can't
got
even
it,
hit
Bo.
somebody with your brim of your hat anymore, can you?
No.
I got
because,
it,
see,
Bo.
the thing is,
It sounds like
is
you're
that
the
the
only
Army
one.
is no longer going to trust him with power tools.
Exactly.
He's no longer
I
going to
can't
trust
be a
BM.
drill sergeant.
Yeah, because the Army's never going to trust Furball with power tools again.
But then again, it wasn't a drill; it was a drill bit that pierced his skin.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
but
not
it
the
was
drill
powered-
itself.
It was powered by a power tool to turn the drill bit. So
You're starting to sound
Yeah.
like Anthony Riley, Bo.
Ah, thanks. Do I have a British accent right now?
So
pretty
we've got
close.
to boil down to a couple of different options. We're thinking Fort Riley,
Fine.
Kansas. The downfall to that is it's Kansas.
It's flatter than a pancake.
Yeah, that's 9 hours from home. My wife really wants to be able to drive home because for the past 4 years, if she wanted to go home for the weekend, she could just drive with the kids.
Yeah.
So Fort Riley, Kansas. Fort Campbell, Kentucky, which is 13 hours from home, but still doable. I have nothing against Campbell. I've never been there before. Or DC. I really want DC, but it's not drivable to get home.
No. DC would be good.
a wreck.
Well, hang on. Here's what it is. Kansas is perfect for the family because you're really close, easy, single drive, leave like as soon as you get home and the kids get home from school on Friday, you're there at a decent enough time. You have the weekend. DC professionally would be great, but sucks for the family.
Yeah. Well, we already did 2 years in DC, and we actually had a house in Triangle, and we sold it when we got to Colorado so that we could buy the house in Colorado. So the job in DC isn't investigations, it's protection. So the perk with that is no more investigations for 2 years, no duty calls, no rapes, no larcenies. I just go to work and stand in front of people, preventing them from getting shot at, and then world travel.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that.
I would enjoy those last 3 years before I retire.
Holy fuck the traffic in DC.
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't stand DC. I've been there 4 times. I can't stand the place.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's all right. To visit.
Jared, is
Great
there-
place to be.
visit.
yeah.
I'd visit
Hey,
for like
Jared,
2
is
there
days at
movie
a
night?
time. And,
Well, you can fly, so you have a cape and everything.
oh, well, yeah, that too. This was pre-Cape when I was actually in the Navy at school in Norfolk at sea school. So when I'd be at sea school, Norfolk was one of the most boring places to be when I went to when I was there. The titty bars, they had lines around the bars that you couldn't pass the lines. So it was like,
I'm here right now, so
you understand that there are no titties at titty bars. There's
no,
they take off the
little,
bathing suit and they got a lingerie piece
yeah,
underneath
they
it.
got the little
Yeah.
nip covers,
Yeah, the most you get are the pasties.
the pasties. That's what they're
Oh,
called.
well then that's a step up. That's like the evolutionary process of strip clubs in Virginia. Because when I went there, that was blasphemy. You
Well-
couldn't fucking have a pasties on. You might as well have been butt naked having sex on the stage.
Well, so I noticed down in the Florida area, there's a difference. You can either go full topless or you have alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same
Yeah,
same way here. Same way here in
weird.
Dallas. Same way here
How
in
would I
Dallas.
do one or the other?
All right, what was that, Cat?
Yeah, it's either topless or alcohol. You can't have both. It's weird. I
It's like that in a
remember-
lot of places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went out to Oregon, and my friend took me to this titty bar, and they were totally naked, and there was alcohol, and I was what the fuck is going on?
In Texas, they have them totally naked, but you have to bring your own alcohol. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never that's so weird. There's fucking titty clubs out there. They get now I'm talking about nothing at all. And you know what? They won't sell you alcohol, but they'll allow you to bring a cooler in, fill it up with alcohol. You
That's
could bring
weird,
10
they can make
bottles of
money.
dude, it's crazy. They charge
Yeah,
there's
$20
places like that
to
in
get
North Carolina.
$20 to $30. And the other thing that's crazy is that in Dallas, normal titty clubs are 21 and up. Those titty clubs are 18 and up. They'll let the young dumbass kids in those. Oh,
Yeah.
you see them all the time. They're wearing the shirts that say minor on them, and they're just happy to be there. Wow.
Yeah. My buddy took me out to this bar in Oregon, and we're sitting there, we're having drinks, and this chick is like right up in our face, like rubbing her stuff, and he tells her, "Smack that ass," and she smacked her ass, and I'm like, "Holy fuck! I'm from Virginia. This shit doesn't happen there."
That's why when I was in Virginia, I was like, no, this is not a titty club. Stop. DJ, stop the music. This is a glorified beach with no sand. Where is the titties at?
Hey, Skeptic, are you old enough to remember Caligula's here in Dallas?
What was the name of the club?
Caligula's.
That sounds familiar, but it would have to have been an older club.
It was up off of Harry Hines. It was
That doesn't help. In Dallas, that doesn't help.
No,
Like
anybody
50
who
of
knows,
them there.
But anybody who remembers Harry Hines back in the 70s and 80s also remembers at one point it was the prostitute capital of
Oh yeah,
Texas.
Oh shit!
still a lot of prostitutes out there.
Oh yeah.
Not that I know about that. I'm just regurgitating my indoctrination.
I had a job assignment out there the other night, and I was driving up Harry Hines, and there was this girl standing on the side of the road with her shirt flipped up, showing her boobies to the whole world. And I'm like, I understand advertising gets you business, but
She could have just been one of those free the nips girls.
Yeah, God bless her.
not at 12 o'clock at night. She wasn't going to be one of the free the nips.
I
And
want to
like-
meet one of those girls and like marry her.
Free the nips.
Yeah, I'll let her walk around topless everywhere we go. I'll even wear my YouTube shirt. Say, hey, I'm a YouTuber.
Well, I have to ask.
Like and subscribe.
I have to ask him, what reference frame are you in? Because your Earth is spinning really fast.
Oh yeah, I'm in an accelerated reference frame right now.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Oh,
He's
is my
doing the
Earth?
time
My
warp.
Earth is. Hold on. Oh, I didn't know what you're talking about. My Earth? Oh yeah. No, that's we're dilating time right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chief Skeptic, I wanted to ask, by the way, have you heard anything from Bruce Lee yet? How's he doing after he got after he kicked his ass?
Bruce Lee. My chest hurts more than his foot does. I'll say that.
I mean, it was really quick, but you just flew across the castle. It was really fast. So I don't know. I
like when Radical puts that in there. Be like water. We have that inside joke. Be like water. You be like water, Radical. Hey guys. I do gotta get going, guys. All them Danes are. Right.
He's German. Oh wait, no, I shouldn't say that.
He is not German. That's a lie if I've ever heard one. I do got to get going, guys, and go prepare for this debate. It's in 30 minutes. Later, guys.
All right, later.
Good one.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Dumpster fires abound.
Yeah.
Why keep calling them debates? I don't get that.
Well, and that's why
not debates.
The ones that I get involved with, I'm like, no, this isn't going to be a debate. It's not going to be formal. If anything, it's going to be a moderated discussion.
Yeah.
Well, if they even show up, because my last one, I sat there for 45 minutes, like for nothing.
Oh, you mean when they have their quote technical issues? Yeah.
Yeah. When he kept logging on and saying nothing.
Yeah. It's all the porn tabs that were open.
Yeah.
Where did the fuck did Geo get this guy from today?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I watched that. Oh my goodness.
He was basically just a sovereign citizen.
That's what it sounded like.
Mental midget is more accurate because it starts out there, but then he just goes off the rails.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that then.
It was entertaining enough.
Do you think he actually understood anything that we were trying to explain to him?
No, but he sure got fucking triggered at the end when I told him to get in a bubble.
Right, indeed.
Yeah, I miss that because my phone died and I had a plumbing issue to finish.
Yeah, before that I was sitting in the sidelines just listening to what he was saying and how many times he was stepping over himself and how many times he was ad hocing his way out of fucking excuses. And then I was like, just by your fucking logic, if I put you in a fucking bubble just at a small scale, how you were arguing, you should increase the fucking pressure inside just by your natural flow of shit. And of course, he didn't like that fucking reference.
Right.
And I was like, well, the flat Earth would be a fucking bubble.
The guy who bailed on me wants to try again for the 25th. So we'll see if that works.
Yeah, I got one sitting on the sidelines kind of listening for the last 2 years and, of course, still now. One word of advice when you guys argue like the ship's going over the horizon, there's a couple things, a couple tips. First off, what the hell's that noise in the background?
Oh, traffic.
Probably me.
Yeah, traffic behind you wished.
Okay. First off is the boat, if the camera's level, is the boat going below center frame of the camera, which would be one of the first things. Second, when they're talking about, it's refraction and it's all this happening, when you see the sail disappear, ask them where is the white of the sail in the refraction area where the sail used to be. It's not there. It's just disappeared. It didn't shrink away to nothing. Is like the arguments earlier with this one guy. He was talking about the trees on the side, and it was all green. You could see where the green was on the in the mirage, but where was the white of the sailboat from the sails in that same mirage? It was just blue, just water. That's one of that point, and also when they talk about like cargo ships, you know, they got that anti-fouling paint that's usually orange on the up below the waterline. When the cargo ship goes over the horizon, a couple of things are happening. You don't see that. You see that orange paint disappear. You don't see like a smudge of orange anywhere. It just orange disappears and it goes to black. There's no compression of orange in that gap there anywhere. If it was compression of orange, you would see the orange someplace. You don't see orange. Also, you can see the cargo ship, the top decks, like the main deck, all those decks, they're above the camera. Yeah, just like for the main example, just for example, the main deck. As you watch like a large cargo ship go over the horizon, not only does it get smaller and also disappears hull first, but that main deck is getting lower. You can actually start seeing the top of the main deck. How on a flat Earth are you able to see on top of something that is higher than you?
Well, from the main deck down, that's called the freeboard. So the hull, up to the main deck, we call that freeboard.
Yeah.
So when you can't see the freeboard, that's not any kind of distortion, because there's, especially on a big ship, there's like 30 feet of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is because I used to live in Astoria, Oregon. We had the cargo ships go up and down the mouth of the Columbia River all the time, and most of them have that orange anti-fouling paint on the bottom on the bottom of where the water line is at. So what in flat Earth logic, when that boat goes to the horizon, you can no longer see the orange, and they say it's compression and perspective. Then you should still be able to see an orange blob of compressed orange paint or whatever, but you don't see.
Yeah,
you don't see it anymore, and that's however many feet of draft they were, pulling when they were going out wherever they were at. But it's not only that. But what I was also trying to say is when it's going over the horizon, you can literally start seeing the top of the main deck start being exposed. You can start seeing the winches. You can start seeing the writing for the no smoking if it's a fucking oil tanker. You can't, if you're physically below the deck, how can you see things that are on top of it?
You're not going to, and that's what they don't understand. And
but I'm just trying to say is that everybody keeps having the same argument about, okay, the hull's disappearing. Well, there's more just being than the hull's disappearing. There's certain things that you can't see anymore. That's what I was trying to say about the sailboat, is when the sailboat goes over, you don't see a white blob of of a compressed image of the sailboat in the mirage anymore. It's completely not there anymore. Or when or better yet, when they take pictures of distant cities over, nighttime photos of distant towns or cities of the lights. They go, oh, look, I can see the town. And you just ask them, where's the reflection of the town in the water?
Yes. And there's distinguishing factors. There's distinguishing, things that aren't there anymore. And
I'm just
spent hundreds upon hundreds of hours on bridges of ships, like looking through big eyes. And I got to explain this one day to flat earthers what big eyes are. But
I'm just trying to say, when you guys argue boats going horizon, just add more to it than just the hull disappears, because they're just going to say it's compression. That's when you say, okay, where is the black or the red of the anti-fouling paint inside in that compression that we're looking at? Where is it? Because I'll take. You take your, let's say, you could take your that picture in like Photoshop or Premiere and then run your cursor over it, and you can actually pull out the color code. Is it white? Is it black? Is it red? Whatever. What are the individual pixels? And if the cargo ship had red anti-fouling paint below at the waterline mark and below, and you take your paint and that boat has gone over the horizon and you can't see that red anymore, there should be according to them, compression of that red on that horizon there someplace. It should be reflected. It should be miraged. It's perspective, convergence. Where there should be some kind of red there. There isn't. That's because there's physically something blocking you from seeing the red anymore. It's I'm just go ahead.
That's a great point. No, that's a great point.
I said just sitting there because we keep saying ships go to the horizon, and that's all they think about is flat earthers got so used to, well, the hull disappears, that's compression, it's miraging. Okay, but where's the color of X? Why am I not seeing a reflection of the mass on the water anymore? Why am I seeing, if the hull of the sailboat is so many feet, how come I'm not seeing a blob of white on the mished up on the horizon? I just see a vertical sail disappearing on a blue line. On flat Earth, that little blue line that right at the base of that on a flat Earth, according to them, at the base of where that sail meets the physics, looks like it's looking at the water. There should be some kind of colors of a boat in there somewhere.
Yeah, I wonder if these flippers would even have the balls to take photos of this in the winter. You would have less haze. The water would be colder, etc., etc. Would they even have the balls to do that?
That's why I use for. That's like the example I was trying to give Homeboy. Even it was a short. I was on there for a very short amount of time because I wanted to bring up Geo to bring up my picture of looking across the Central Valley in California here to the mountains that are, like I said, physically, I'd said before, that are 3,000 feet above sea level, and I'm at 823 feet above sea level, and I'm looking at these mountains, but they're below my eye level. On a flat Earth, according to them, they should be either center or above. They should be center my eye level, or at least raising up to my eye level, but they're not. And no matter how much zoom you do on them, they will not rise. It's on flat Earth. It's impossible. And Homeboy, he actually kind of fucked himself because he was all about horizon, rise, eye level, horizon, eye level. Then I bring up what I've seen. He goes, well, yeah, in that case, the horizon, it would lower. So what fucking is it? Is it lowering? Is it rising? What's your, come up with something. It's always something. It always has to be something other than the Earth's curved.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I haven't really debated or even talked to a flat earther except for a couple. But I would say that if I ever come across one of those dumbasses that has the gall to claim that not only that if you see a boat going over the horizon and you see it disappearing and you zoom in on it or use some binoculars or a telescope or whatever, it comes back into view. If they had the gall to say that and maybe even claim that they have tried it themselves and it's true, I would just shut them off. I wouldn't even use any more time talking to them because they would be literally talking out of their asses.
Well, the thing about flat earthers, they will when they try to do those kind of photography, they will literally find the worst fucking conditions to do it in, where it's going to be fucking miraging and all kinds of crappy, that way they have some kind of excuse. Because if they try to make it so they can't get cornered into a claim, they'll just kind of modify what they're saying a little bit, so they can kind of weasel the way out of it. That way you never hear them make like solid claims about things. It's always like wishy-washy words. It's something, it's perspective, but they won't define perspective because as soon as they define perspective, we'll use that very definition against them. So as long as they keep it, the water's really, really muddy, they can figure out a way to get their boat down the creek.
Yeah. Have you heard this kid, Mind of God?
Mind of Dodge? Yeah,
right.
He's an idiot.
Proposing this experiment that is designed to fail. And so that he has an out.
And he's also a liar, so confirmed liar, by the way.
Cannot work.
Wait, how was it confirmed for him lying at this point?
Well, it's weird. Like he wants a drone flying and Like, I don't. It doesn't even make sense. But he says it will confirm a flat Earth, but it doesn't even make sense. So,
well, that's why it confirms flat Earth.
Can you say it again? What he wants? You kind of roboted for me.
Well, no. What I was saying is, he wants this experiment that doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right.
Ta-da.
You mean a straw man of the? I mean a straw man of the globe that you have to conform to?
No, he proposed an experiment that when you actually analyze the setup, it's going to give a flawed result. It's going to give bad data.
Gotcha.
In other words, it won't produce any, and I won't use the word because I fucking hate it, any parallel lines.
Yeah.
It's really nice to talk about parallel lines just using a different word for it because it makes him sound kind of cool and stuff.
The results are designed to be fuzzy.
Well, as for example, like the parallel lines thing, when a flat earther tells you about corpuscular rays, tell them to take go down to the what do you call it, fucking like Hobby Town or wherever where you can buy like a big piece of construction paper, and tell them to draw perfectly parallel lines on the construction paper lengthwise, and then take them and tell them to roll up that tube and tape it, and then look through it and tell me if those fucking lines are converging.
Or just to everybody that constantly claims, well, you can trust your senses. For example, your eyes. Do that same experiment. Take some big A0 piece of paper, construction paper, and draw two parallel lines at about a couple inches apart. And then put those your one of your eyes up to the center of one of those two lines on the edge of the poster paper thing. And those, do they still look like parallel lines? No. Well, guess what? You can't trust your senses like that.
Yeah, it's what we call it's the real world perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like I forget which idiot at this point it was that I was talking to, but where I used the whole stick out your hand and hold up a finger and then blink between your two eyes and watch how your hand moves, demonstrating the binocular vision that we have as humans. And I think he really wanted to get away from that perspective and just, well, look at it. And it's like, well, yeah, because see, your hand's not exactly where you think it is based on your vision.
It's weird because when I told my son that when he was 5, he understood it.
Well, it's like if you do any kind of construction work and you need to figure out if a piece of a board you're buying at Home Depot has a crown in it or not. You don't just look at it from the side and go, well, I don't see a crown on it. You take that bitch, you look down it lengthways, and because you're compressing that the warp in the board very narrowly, your eyes are going to pick it up a lot more than just, because you can have, say, a half a millimeter off, in the center of the, making it a crown, when I'm talking about the crown of the board. You can't distinguish your eyes, but if you take it and look down the lengthways, you can see that fucking curve. And that's exactly what's happening with fucking Stanley pictures. But the flat earthers will always go, well, when I look at it from the side, I don't see that curve. You don't see the curve in the fucking board either until you look down the side of it either. That's the whole fucking purpose of it.
Yeah. I tried to explain that on my non sequitur debate, and my debate opponent did not understand.
Yeah, it's
surprise.
They've been parroting the same shit. Because before I was doing flat Earth shit on the YouTube, when I met up with Res Rhetoric and Sean, I got in that kind of little group. I was debating fucking flat earthers on the street in LA and stuff like that, in Seattle, because they were, that's where they were hiding out before the internet fucking picked them up. And they were exactly the same fucking arguments. Perspective, this, zetetic method, you need to do this. It's convergence. It's, it's 1,000 different things they fucking excuse. Now this internet just gives them a voice. Well, not a voice, but a platform. So it used to be just soapboxes and on steps.
Are there any around here? I would love to go find one in person.
Where's that? Where's there?
I'm in Hampton Roads.
You're
I
not.
have no. Go. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, Psystrike has found a few up on the boardwalk in Atlantic City.
Yeah,
They're,
Zoom Truth. The guy
find-
who has the guy with a YouTube channel called Zoom Truth. He uses that boardwalk often.
I mean, you can go down to fucking
on a daily basis, actually. So
I'm on the. We have a boardwalk here. There's got to be some here.
I mean, down there in every time I go down to fucking Hollywood and stuff, they there's ones down there by the fucking Chinese theater and stuff like that, and there's a couple that know me when I come walking up, and they'll just fucking ignore me or whatever. And there's one guy, he really doesn't fucking like me because he was all about because I try and get him steered in one direction. It's like so I hear Antarctica is like a wall, and he starts talking about Antarctica and the treaty, and I was like, oh, hold on a minute, let me pull up my iPad. I just started flipping through all the pictures of me at the South Pole Station and at the South Pole and at McMurdo and flying over the fucking over the glacier, and me fucking me going on a partial traverse with the fucking crews doing the bringing fuel, the Emmons and Scott, me taking flights from South Pole Station to Tor and Troll Station, which are literally on the other side of the continent by fucking airplane, because they needed fucking IT guys down over there, so I fucking traversed that way. I mean, I might not have fucking walked across fucking Antarctica, but I definitely flew from fucking McMurdo to fucking Emmons and Scott, and then from Emmons and Scott, took another fucking hop and flew to fucking Tor and Troll Station, and then fucking bounced right back the same way. So as I fucking crossed Antarctica, I didn't fucking turn left to follow the fucking ice wall.
Did you get shut down?
If anybody had to shoot anybody down, it'd be us shooting them down.
Yeah.
But that guy fucking hates me when I fucking show up, because I ran on this fucking parade. He has this little banner just like that fucking Zoom Truth guy does, and it's nothing more than fucking satanic astronomy and Dubé fucking claims. It's not that big of a banner. It's like maybe like 3 or 4.
It's easy for flat earthers, or for that matter, street epistemologists, I think they're called. Christians or Muslims, whatever. Trying to get people to come to their church or whatever on the streets. It's easy to yak to unsuspecting people, but when they come across a person who can actually bite back with better argumentation than they do, because most of them are, well, let's just face it, all of them are just parroting what other people say. They don't really like that all that much.
Well, it's like with I was gone
for them. I actually want to find some of these people.
Oh, they're when you get them in person, it's a whole different story, because their brains like work on a script. I mean, it's not like they're like, sometimes they'll read off their fucking their banner or whatever they have, but they're literally on a script. They will always say like spinning ball. They'll say like verbatim spinning ball Earth. There's no like ball spinning that could be the Earth. It's always the same line. They have the same, like I said, the same script. You get them off script where they have to start thinking for themselves. They fucking get flustered, and they get fucking mad, and then they get fucking stompy, and then they'll try and take your picture, and then they'll do this.
It's really amusing. I mean, it's almost like watching sovereign citizen videos getting pwned badly. Well, great, but badly on YouTube.
I have the right to travel. Right to travel.
Yeah, but you're not traveling. Yeah, you road pirate, you. Or yeah.
Well, did y'all see my latest? Not my latest, but one of my latest videos about the crazy cat lady that goes to universities and sets up her banners and just screams at college students.
I missed that one.
You talking about a flat earther one, or
that is Maryland Spirit Level?
Maryland Spirit Level. Yep.
Oh no, I haven't heard.
Well,
I would love to meet somebody like that.
Guess who she goes around with? The guy from the same guy, Zoom Truth.
Yes,
she's with him too, and
that's one.
She has been. Yeah, I mean, her and a couple of others, including Hillel and Psystrike. We were. She decided to not do it anymore, but she actually hung on for quite a while. We're in a Google Hangouts what do you call it, group for quite some time, trying to be actually, cordial and polite. It worked to some effect, but she wouldn't listen, of course.
I asked her to come on and debate me several times, and she will not respond.
Well, I'll just give you a couple of tips then. She claims not to be a Christian, but she believes there is a God, and it isn't and it isn't Allah, and none of the Hindu gods. And she's also an anti-vaxxer, of course, and a chemtrailer.
No,
Good luck.
Of course, she's not. She's an
No, it's the giant spaghetti monster.
Do any of you guys ever listen to a guy on the internet called Mr. Medicare?
I know the name.
Otherwise known as Internet Aristocrat. Anyways, there's a guy. I listened to a guy called Mr. Medicare. I like his down to earth style about dumb shit on the internet. He does videos called series called Internet Insanity. He goes after furries and all this kind of shit. But anyways, he did a video here a while back talking to a guy who was one of the actors in a TV show back in the early or I think it was early 80s or mid 80s called Photon. Anyways, where it's like laser tag stuff. Anyways, if you guys look up this guy, go to the last where he's doing this interview with this dude. I think it's like an hour or so long. Go to like the 30-minute mark, and this guy is a full-on fucking flat earther. Thinks that the every female actor in Hollywood is a transvestite. He's like say anti-vaxxer. He's into that. 9/11's fake, moon landing's fake, flat earther, sovereign citizen. The whole government's a fucking corporation. He goes into he gets really into it. And Mr. Medicare just kind of eggs him on by asking him so tell me more about how Bruce Willis is pretending to be a female and he's being, I can't remember who he said that Bruce Willis dresses up as, and he plays this woman. But it's this guy goes into a fucking full meltdown, and that's like, oh look, a fucking flat earth. It's like even before he says when he started talking about anti-vax and 9/11, all that, it's like, and Hollywood being fake and this and that. It's like I bet that guy's a fucking flat earther.
Well, hey, Hollywood. I mean, it is fake. It's fiction.
No, but he's really
into all of them.
Yeah, but he's literally making the claim that every female who's in Hollywood is literally a man dressed up.
Is he also a so-called transvestigator?
Well, yeah,
I would not doubt it.
This guy that y'all are talking about, he claimed that Steve Irwin and his wife were trainees, and that Bendy's a trainee.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Well, let me just throw this out there. If Scarlett Johansson is a dude, I'm still gonna do it.
He brings up her too. So
yeah, that's on my list. All right. So where's the controversy in this goal?
And what
you haven't seen this yet, Jared?
No, I have. Dude,
Watch this guy right here.
Yeah, Hurdle.
Watch his hands. Did you see it?
Who exactly? Okay. Number 65. Okay. You want to play that again?
No. So 65 scored the goal, but what are they trying to say? He did a hand pass?
He did a hand pass, and it was instinctual. From my look on it, it looks very much instinctual that it's near me, batted away, not thinking about it. But I could see them making the claim that it was.
But yeah, I want to see something closer here. All right, so
and slow the playback down.
Okay, so
flips up,
boom,
and then he just.
Boom. Oh, he was just trying to knock it down, and saving grace right there. It went off of blue.
Yep.
It went off of a Blues player, so the hand pass is negated.
Well, how much curvature was there?
Yeah, but my perspective, that's not real.
Oh yeah.
All I know is that if you have steel-tipped safety shoes on, do not kick a puck full pelt. Do not do it. It hurts like hell.
I've kicked plenty of pucks with my skates, and those aren't steel toe.
No, but the steel toe somehow amplifies the hurt. I installed some professional effects lighting for one of the main Danish ice hockey teams in Odense. On Funen, it doesn't matter. And once we were done, while we were in the cherry picker, we're under the lights, of course, the usual lights, and we found a lot of pucks up there, obviously. So we just collect them as we go, and we started playing. But yeah, we started kicking them around for fun after that.
Oh, wait a second. So we have a sport down here where the golf courses are. We call it ball hocking, where we go out and we go find lost golf balls on golf courses, and we sell them back to the clubhouse for like 25 cents a ball or whatever, and then they turn around and sell them for 50 cents a ball at the clubhouse. But we literally go around and find the golf balls, and if we get bored enough, we start kicking them around the greens and such just to piss off some of the golfers.
They bounce really good, so why not?
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, that green gives you some, given that there's a hole in the ground in the middle of the green, gives you a target to kind of look, to shoot for with your foot while you're kicking the ball. But you guys puck hawk up there, then you almost do the ball or the puck hawking instead of ball hawking.
No, not as much as you think, because the most arenas have enough netting around that it's more difficult than you would think to actually get a puck off of the ice like that. Oh my!
Oh no!
No.
Thumbnail ever.
Oh, I feel like throwing up now.
I'm not in a position. I'm not in a position to get any alcohol, and I'm not in a position where I have my gun on me right now to shoot myself with.
No, here's my question.
And my buzz is wearing off. So
whose thumbnail was that?
Blue Marble Science.
Yeah.
Why does Anthony in that picture look like a fucking male prostitute about to fucking do a striptease?
Because he is.
somebody paid
a shit in the forest.
It's like a fucking. It looks like you got paid $5 extra for a suck off before you fucking starts playing the scientist. Oh, show me your beaker.
Oh my god!
He's gonna show you his flat Earth.
I'm gonna show you.
Not even.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna spit on this petri dish and we're gonna watch things grow.
Knowing him, if he asks to see a beaker like that, someone should throw a Muppet at him.
It's amazing in that fucking video it's amazing in that video. Anthony discovered something that kids at 5 years old learn. It's called buoyancy.
So, Jared, did you get a chance to look at that latest picture I sent you about the source?
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts on that source?
I'm not surprised because of the slant that piece of shit has decided to go with. No, because here's the thing. I have no problem calling that person a piece of shit because they have demonstrated to be a shitty fucking person by exhibiting shitty behavior on a routine basis.
Which makes it more fun when I get to sit there and mess with them on their live streams.
I'm glad I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, be glad.
That is who should win the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, unfortunately, if everyone's heard, Grumpy Cat passed away today.
Yeah, Grumpy Cat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you for all the memes, Grumpy Cat.
Well, Grumpy Cat's official title is House of Targaryen, the first of her name, the unclawed Queen of Mayorstown, Arizona, Kitty of the Great Grass Sea, Queen of the Felines and the first memes, Protector of the Seven Kingdoms, Breaker of Bad Days, and Mother of Memes.
Can we have a moment of silence?
No.
Sorry.
I tried.
You know what Grumpy Cat's real name was, right?
No.
Oh, I can't remember, but I used to know it.
It was tartar sauce.
That's right, tartar sauce. It's been a long time since I
Well,
fucking actually looked up that
beats
thing.
my cat. Beats my cat's name. My cat's name's Fuzzy Butt.
I've got 3 cats here.
Yeah, I grew up with cats.
My wife's cat is named Fire, and I affectionately call him the furry little asshole.
He does not like you.
Oh no, he loves me. He hates other cats. He doesn't like other animals.
Aw.
He is a gorgeous, well-bred, full-blood Persian. So he really is really fluffy, but he's a little asshole.
I got
Well,
three
like
big ass
fire.
fucking. I got three big ass bobcats on my property here, and they give the fucking rabbits a run for their money.
Ah!
Uh-oh.
Oh, I saw this.
Oh.
I saw this
Oh,
one. It
yes.
didn't quite work.
Do not try this at home.
I like how I know why it didn't work, but it's just
He didn't leave enough space inside for oxygen flow.
yep.
Yeah.
Even though he drilled the holes in there.
Yeah, but he packed it full, and that's the problem.
Yep.
But then he does that. And then it's like, oh, this'll look cool. And then 3, 2.
Okay, I didn't see the whole thing from the beginning, but I can see which channel you're looking at right now. Oxygen. Well, when you strike a match, it burns fast, slower than if you didn't feed it extra oxygen from the surrounding air. So I'm guessing you meant the sticks themselves burning when you say it doesn't get enough oxygen.
Yeah.
That's that. The thing about that fire, it's a real good example of what it's not an explosion. It's what they call deflagration.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a flashover more than anything.
Yeah, but it'd be more classified as deflagration versus an explosion.
Well, yeah, I can't remember where the limit is, but there is a specific there is a definition of explosion, and it only has to do with the burn rate and nothing else.
All right. You have conflagration, deflagration, and a couple of others that I can't remember.
Yeah, that pile didn't detonate. It just basically kind of tore itself apart. That's from the outside. So it's kind of.
Well, so what he did, so you saw all the the red caps that were the striking end of the match. What he did is he clipped a whole fuck ton of them and packed full the inside of that dome he made with just the heads and maybe 5 millimeters worth of the stick as well. But that's the problem. He packed it full.
Leave.
He made a sphere as well.
For oxygen.
Yeah, but I think he made a sphere as well. Okay, more than one, but I think he made one where he hollowed out the ball. Only using the sulfurous tips, glued all those together. Just leaving enough of the matchstick to glue them together from the inside, and then he filled them up with tips. Put 2 halves together, and then put it on a stick, and then fired it off and filmed it from different angles. I think, if it's the same guy I'm thinking about, he filmed it in a forest and just let the camera roll.
Yeah.
Well, there's a difference between causing a conflagration, which is what he was trying to do, and something like a rocket, which produces its own oxygen. And I don't think he understood the difference.
Well, he'll just make a better one next time, I guess. You learn the lesson and do it again.
Well, is he actually trying to do something other than just having fun while burning shit?
No.
Well,
no idea.
It's a very long time ago since I watched. If it is this channel I'm thinking about, if it's him, the guy I'm thinking about there.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what do you got there? One of those Chinesium purple lasers. Okay.
What could possibly go on?
Yeah.
It's warm enough.
The title of this is Lava versus Bowling Ball.
Oh, I saw that one.
Oh wow, he's actually putting on appropriate welding shoes with metatarsal cover. Good.
Well, when you get sponsors to do it, no, wait, no, they've been used for a while. Huh. Well, he does have a machine shop.
Yeah. Someone who does it right. Yay!
Jesus Christ, that's hot.
Oh,
yeah,
it's really
furnaces tend to do that. So what is he melting? Is it actual pumice that he's doing?
It's actual pumice.
Wow. Good on him.
Yeah, he ground it up first to make it easier to melt.
And if only I had a welding, some welding gear and room for stuff. Oh, it would be great.
Well, I'm curious if the crucible what he's using for the crucible to actually help contain it.
Well, I'm sure it's either ceramic or graphite. I mean, it would be stupid to make. Yeah, it would be stupid to not make it out of either ceramic. We'll buy them. Ceramic or graphite. Although I'm not an expert on this at all, but this will go. This will go.
It should be interesting.
This will go. This is really good.
It'll wait. Stay there for a while, and it'll go. I think that bowling ball will snap.
It eventually will, but the problem is he needs to get it to keep in place. The problem is the urethane outer cover there. If you notice, like right there, it just globs off. It's not staying in place long enough to fully transfer the heat to really do much damage to the bowling ball.
Well,
I know how they're built, but I can't remember the melting temperatures of the inner and the outer.
So with a bowling ball, the issue he's running into, that is what would be called a house ball. So it is a very basic polyurethane, no special weight block core, no special resin outer coating. So it is a very slick, polished coating, so it doesn't pick up the oil, so it just literally slides through the oil on the lane, which is why the beginning of the pumice, the melted pumice, the lava that he made, just bounced right off.
Well, did he say what his goal was?
To see what would happen.
Just to do it.
But see, notice now that he went slower at the end there and actually got it to stay. It got through that outer shell initially and stayed in place. Now it's slowly melting and eating through the entire bowling ball.
Well, also, when the polyurethane gets hot enough, eventually it'll start charring. It'll be able to stick easier.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're breaking through that outer polish. Once you get outside of that, then it will actually latch on and transfer the heat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, water curving. I think because I'm under the impression because that's a ball and it's on video, it's CGI, so I'm just going with that.
But would it even be fair to say that because the water doesn't even, at least in the beginning, the water doesn't even touch the pumice, for example?
Well, no, it just goes right
because,
to steam.
Because of the Leidenfrost effect, it doesn't really touch it.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, that's what helped him, and that's what I was expecting him to do initially. By pouring it over the finger holes, you actually get a chance for it to build up under the outer shell, in the actual finger holes itself, and then it'll hold and solidify and do it.
Or probably be better if he drilled some holes, a couple of holes between the thumb hole and the finger holes.
Oh no! With the consistency that he had. With the consistency that he had, he didn't need to do that. He just needed to have either the thumb or the finger holes going more vertical and try pouring directly into those to start with. And had he done that with the heat that he had at the beginning, he probably would have gotten it to overheat inside and potentially crack from the internal pressure because of that injection of heat.
How about 100,000 frames per second hitting a golf ball?
Oh yeah. Oh, that was it.
that'd be
That was some beautiful footage.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, you have something to enjoy. Just seeing that golf ball squishing completely, it's beautiful.
Oh, the trampoline effect? Ooh.
Oh yeah.
And also, yeah, well, almost
Smarter
blowing up
every
too.
day. Yeah.
Well, of course, yeah, him, and what is he called? Something Rober, Mark Rober, a former NASA engineer, I think.
Astronaut.
No, not astronaut. No, that's not him.
Right around there.
He looks like a young kid. Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, this is the one I've seen.
That's the
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, they also filmed the high speed stuff in a field somewhere, where they had rockets, literal rockets, stuck to golf ball to
Look at that.
Oh wow.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
But
they kept firing that ball, didn't they?
Yeah. So that what we're seeing right here, the golf ball is actually designed to do, which is actually what helps with ball flight times and distances.
Yep.
Until they start smacking a little harder and just, yeah.
They also attached some rockets to the golf club too. I remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was on one of Mark's videos.
Mm-hmm. And of course, with his videos, the obligatory.
Wow.
Look at that.
That was a golf ball from the 70s, if I remember. That was an old ball.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, they also damaged it too. If you notice, that damage already to it.
Was that
I
the?
think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but-
No,
But the question is,
that was
was
just
it
the
weathered
age. That was
or
just
just old? They did make some tests where they couldn't really get the effect they wanted, so they made a small slice in it.
That's what
Still
it was.
didn't get the effect they wanted. Made
damn.
some more of them.
Look at they did the golf club.
Yeah,
That's gonna make me
aluminum.
cry.
It's just. I'm guessing it's just. I don't play golf. I'd like to try, but this is just probably a standard cheapo.
No,
golf
it's
club from
it's
China.
our
That's actually-
it's our globe model destroying the flat Earth.
That's actually a great big Bertha there that they just fired into. That's like a $200 club.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that's the
Look at
thing.
that.
Oh my
Had
god.
Had they actually done it at a more reasonable impact speed, you wouldn't have seen that deflection. But
Oh,
Yeah.
and they also
Look at the handle.
put the club, on the handle.
That's what happens
Mark's
to
the
flat
same
Earth
guy
logic.
that did the glitter bomb
Yeah.
package.
Oh, that
Yeah.
the partial hoax they
Yep.
called it.
Yeah, he's the one who has the gear on the Mars Curiosity rover.
Yeah, that's it. But it's the weirdest shit that Destin from Smart Everyday comes up with. I mean, for every just messing around with dominoes. Okay, how nerdy can that be? I mean, okay, how interesting can that be?
damn.
And what does he find out? Yeah,
Watch,
it's amazing.
watch the progression of that shockwave through the club face.
Oh, it cracked it.
Yeah.
Ripping. It imploded.
Yeah.
Quite literally. Oh, you could see. Could we see that it was a two-part? Well, it would have to be. I mean, it isn't molded, I would imagine.
No, it looked like it's a single piece. It's hard to
Yeah,
tell
it's
though.
single.
Look at that right
Yeah,
down
but
here.
further in,
And
further
there
in, when it
goes
starts
Look at
rotating.
that.
and there goes the flat Earth logic flattened out.
You see that angle right there? It looks like
Oh yeah,
it
that's
is
a perfect cut.
Yeah.
exactly. It looks like two different pieces right there.
Well, so that's because if you look at the shape of it, that is actually a stress point where they actually, it actually cuts up under. And,
Oh, wow.
That
got
reminds
your
me of the
watermelon
high-speed
right here,
footage
boys.
of firing
Damn.
Later,
firing
heat shield.
chocolate 6 rounds
See, heat shield.
Later, heat shield.
at a live
Later,
pig
heat shield.
golf
Oh, goodness. Oh, geez. Even the camera got splooged on.
Yeah. Watching high-speed footage of a anesthetized live pig getting shot by M16s and whatnot. Just seeing those, those entry holes, not that interesting. But the exit holes,
the exit wound, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and
also from the side, seeing the cavity progressing.
well, so what?
It's just yikes.
What that one with the golf balls kind of remind me of is actually how they the experimentation rig that they've been doing to show why craters are the way they are and have led to our understanding and the math on how we can then go by crater size and then go back to the variances of velocity and size of the asteroid that caused the impact. And what they do is they pretty much do an air gun similar to what they were using there for the golf ball, but they shoot steel BBs.
Oh, I thought you meant I can't remember if it's a JPL or whatever. They have no, it's in the university somewhere, I think, where the chamber itself, I saw it on a YouTube video, of course, because, YouTube is research. Where they did research cratering and all that stuff, but they used a big ass vacuum chamber and a rail gun to get it up to speed.
Pretty much, yeah.
Uh-huh. And they did all that. They did all that at University of Oklahoma in Norman at the meteorology school, because they have that built specifically to test the tornado wind speeds and the damage it'll do to structures.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Jared.
Tornadoes aren't real.
This is an RC boat battle. They're using BBs in the cannons.
Nice.
Yeah. There's a lot of
the submarine
videos
on fires torpedoes,
on that kind of thing.
You know what, Jay? They do. Someone made an RC submarine of the Typhoon, that actually shot a ballistic payload. Well, ballistic for its purposes.
I understand what you mean.
Okay, I wonder if those water spouts, if they're a simulated damage or just hoses popping off.
I think
that's actually bilge pumps. That's actually pulling it out. That's actual bilge.
Yep. Yeah, because
they got holes in the hull.
Up to this time. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because they have to patch the holes up after every battle. And they have.
Once you do that, you just need a bigger pump.
Now, I'm just waiting for a barrage of RC planes to kamikaze in and just destroy everything.
That would be hilarious.
A buttload of zeros.
So
no, it wouldn't be the Zero. It would be the Kate.
Yeah.
The Kate.
It'd be the Kate or the Val.
Oh, there you go. Someone has an RC aircraft carrier with microplanes that take off and land on it.
Yeah, I've seen
you
that
mean
one.
from a flight test? The guys at Flight Test or somewhere else?
I can't remember. I have to look it up again.
Okay, it's a YouTube channel that it's a company that deals with with RC stuff for fun. They get the more crazy suggestions on what to try and to make fly. For example, a working microwave oven.
Oh, nice!
It's supposed to work while the plane is They built a plane around a microwave, and they actually made that microwave, and it's a 110 volt microwave. They didn't cheat and use a 12 volt.
Mm-hmm.
No, a 110 volt microwave oven made it actually work while flying. I think they popped some popcorn or whatever.
Nice. Well, I'm curious. This footage here, what harbor are they at? Because it kind of looks like Hong Kong.
I don't know, to be honest.
How would you say that, Jerry? You can't see anything except for the boats.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Look like from that movie. What is it? The Final Countdown.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
it does.
Huh.
That's an old movie, but a good one.
Is that a recent video of theirs?
Yeah, I haven't
Oh,
seen
wow.
this one.
That's impressive.
A couple months, I think. It's a YouTube original.
Oh, wow.
I got lightning strikes like that taken from my drone on my very last video on my channel.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I hope you were recording
See,
it in
well,
progressive.
So right there, you
I
actually
got-
get to see how lightning works. Is it doesn't just always fall that path. Is it's going out, and once it gets that shortest path, that's when it finishes off.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I got-
it may just be because of the meats link here, but
See,
we can't see the whole thing. We can't see the lightning seeking from the ground up and then shooting down.
Yeah, it's called the leader.
Because contrary to what most people think, the lightning starts on the ground. That's not what we can see, but it literally starts from the ground up.
On my channel, there's a video called Strike, and it's a thunderstorm passed over this area, and the drone was sent up, and it recorded the lightning strikes, and then we went through the edit, and then we pulled out all the major strikes, and then we did a slow motion in the corner with the what do you call it, with the normal speed. And we got it with 2 strikes at the same time, and then we also caught one in the background with a leader where it went from the ground up.
Nice.
I mean, you need some for a. I don't like the word drone because people tend to misuse it. Your quad, it's you need some pretty good optics and a sensitive sensor to pick stuff up like that.
Well, I mean, if somebody wanted to, I'm on a cell phone, but if somebody wanted to go to my channel and just throw it out, that's.
Give me a second.
What? Oh.
But what? Hang on, oh, damn it. Did you have a DSLR on that drone?
No, it's just the drone that comes with the camera. The last one was over. They're both the last one, and then the one called Strike are both lightning ones.
Okay, please don't be a Walkira. Please don't be a Walkira. Please don't
DJI.
Be a Walkira.
So this lightning strike video was March 6th, 2019.
Flash in the night. Okay.
On the slow-mo guys. And it's in Singapore.
Okay, that was going to be my next guess because I recognized the waterfront. Hong Kong and Singapore are places we stopped on pretty much every underway out of Japan.
Guys, you did say a flash in the night, right?
Yeah, that's the very last one is lightning, and then the video called Strike, which is much earlier video. That's also lightning.
Here, from 3 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I had help with that one. I wasn't in the country yet, but I have a partner in crime who helps me out when I wasn't here. If she got pissed off at some flat earthers.
There you go. Watch this.
Aww.
An RC.
That's a C-17 replica.
Yeah.
And what was the very first reaction? Aww.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Now the interesting ones on the RC side of things that I found were the large scale flyable F-14s with sweepable wings.
Oh, does it also have the landing hook?
One of them did. The other that I've come across didn't.
Okay. That's a big ass plane.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun to I mean, the first time I saw C-17 was when I went to the Dayton Hamvention in Ohio. I think it's what is it called? Wright's Air Force Base.
Wright-Patterson.
I think I'm pretty sure that's where they took off from. I don't know. It's too far ago. I mean, it's in 2007 or something. But we were just driving on the freeway or highway, can't remember. But we just saw that thing fly over. Damn, that thing was big. I couldn't even figure out how close it was. It was so fucking huge.
Oh, I believe it.
And it's not even the biggest one. That's the scary part.
Oh, I used to drive past those doing touch and goes all the time at work. I worked in downtown Tacoma, and I drive back to Olympia every day. and right through Joint Base Lewis McChord. They're doing those flight ops all the time, touch and go flight ops with those. By the way, I've got Geist's video ready.
All right, so one of those aircraft carrier ones, someone actually put the whole number 63 on it.
Oh, damn.
Which, that was the first carrier I was on.
Hey, Jay, JBLM is one of the options I have to go to, but it's too busy.
It could be worse.
Oh, all I heard there was JM, and I thought,
JBLM.
Yeah, I know. It just gave me a bad taste in my mouth there. That idiot. I'm sorry, physicist or engineer or whatever.
Or
scientician.
Or
dumbass. Yeah.
Well, William Sand and I have a bet going that he's going to actually claim to be a submariner at some point.
Well, I mean, come on. He isn't as bad as a certain, royal person, Van Helten, claiming just about anything between DC and daylight.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, he's not that bad.
But we cannot disparage the designer of the F-117.
What?
Yes, that is one of the claims he made, is that the government stole his design of an aircraft he drew as a younger kid, and it became the F-117.
Did he design the fucking engine on it? That he can go to hell.
I mean, I'm sure that he has shown those drawings.
Yeah, which by the way, anyone who has a direct way to contact Irv von Helten, he has an open invitation to join us on the panel.
For some reason, he doesn't doesn't have the time. I'm sure it's not technical issues because that guy is a genius. So, yeah. I mean, he probably, designed the software we're using right now.
Or he was the living embodiment of the Joker.
Nice.
Or no, the Punisher. The Punisher. That's what it was.
Whose tank is this?
Ooh.
This is an awesome fucking video.
Yeah, I remember the behind the footage video of that one. They had to do a whole take over again. They missed the mark.
You've got to go to the end where they're shooting at watermelons.
And the howitzer shell ricochets out the very far end.
Yes.
Hold on just a second.
Why isn't he firing from the gunner's seat?
Because in that case, the gun could be damaged or weak, the breech, so it's safer for them to actually fire from the outside.
Yeah. And as far as I remember, that is a privately owned tank.
Yeah. Yeah, everything on this property is.
Yeah.
They should have called me. I'd chance it.
Oh, look at that thing. Wait, what's wrong in this picture?
Why is it nosing down?
Why is it already...
why is it already looking to tumble? Does it not... Was it a smoothbore?
There we go.
No, it's not smoothbore. I think they talked about that it's probably...
Look at it, Jared.
It's because of the wear on the bore that it isn't...
it's getting to be out of spec.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then I don't see a rotation band on there either.
It's spinning, but
I've watched Willie Pete rounds wobble.
It is spinning, huh? It is.
I just love the shockwave that you're seeing all the way around it.
If you look at the round,
if
you look at the round, it doesn't have a rotating band on it. It's basically just a metal slug that they fired. It doesn't have. It's like a.
Oh damn!
Yeah. Well, hey, that's what
they need is a.
Yeah, that's what I would love to see. The Slow-Mo guys, a film using slurring effect. What do you call it? The slurring effect. Film a BAG getting
like Destin does.
Getting fired at different targets and at the muzzle.
Yeah, when the flat earther tells you there's mathematics doesn't exist in real life, with the shearing with the shearing effect, with the the shearing effect or photography, where you use a mirror to do that. Yeah. It takes a lot of math to make sure that fucking thing is in frame.
All you need is
Damn.
all you
20
need is
millimeters.
a
That
parabolic
is
mirror,
it.
a razor blade, and a cheap laser pointer. It would be a good thing to have a more powerful one than just one of those $1 ones, but you can actually make create the Schilling effect. Why can't we say that?
Schliering.
Yeah,
and
that works.
I can actually speak German, but this today it's not working.
The pressure wave.
Yeah, the pressure wave got the first one. That's it.
Concussion, you mean?
Bottom, yeah,
Concussion wave, yeah.
just like when
Just wait. You got to see the last one.
Oh, that's
when
what
you
I'm
have
trying
a
to find.
beer
Is
bottle and you hold it at the neck and you smack it hard with your hand, you can actually blow up the bottom too. That's probably what was happening here.
Okay, gotta watch the slow mo of this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, come on. Let's see it.
Damn.
No more.
The round actually.
It ricocheted.
The thing is, the round at the end ricochets before it hits the two at the end. See, it goes up.
Damn.
It goes up with the shockwave.
Is powerful.
Yeah.
I missed the last three.
I wonder if there are any high-speed thermal imagers around, so you could see through that smoke.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, it would consist of, was the camera close to getting hit there? On the left. There. Yeah. That looked like the round.
Yeah.
It ricocheted. It went up.
Damn.
And
Well,
then you can actually hear in the audio this weird after the fire.
The tumbling round going
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, the tumbler.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, I know how that sounds when just using standard, handgun fire or machine gun fire, but from a
Well, for example, like when you, because I'm a Brownie Master Gunner, retired now. When we set up ranges for the 25 millimeter, one of the things you have to do is you have to, when you set up a targetry, you have to identify the ricochet, and it's usually what they call the ricochet portion of the targetry.
This is how NASA launches their rockets.
cool.
Don't show that shit to fucking don't show that shit to Russian vids.
And just while we're at it,
look at that.
That is the same type of platform that the Copenhagen suborbitals are using for their aspirations of actually launching a rocket with a person on it to the Kármán line and back. Not privately owned, they're just having
the closest
fun.
thing that Denmark's ever going to get to rocketry is Tivoli Park when they do their fireworks this way. Tivoli, my bad.
No. Yeah, well, no, they're actually doing it. They're getting.
I know. I'm just giving you shit. I went to Copenhagen lots of times when I was stationed in Germany.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I lived in Copenhagen, the company that Tivoli used for the fireworks displays, they used the same company for decades. It's a family, but unfortunately, that family decided to shut down shop because it was just getting too dangerous. They didn't want to do it anymore, and after that, the quality of the of the fireworks just pummeled. It just went to shit.
Huh.
It's really bad now. And
it's been a while since I've been there to see a fireworks display, but when I was stationed in Germany, both my tours, I would take the train up to I take the ice train up to Copenhagen huh?
Yeah, I was thinking, isn't it in Germany that there's a is it every 4 years or every 2 years a fireworks festival? That's really a competition. There's one in China, but I think
I don't know if there's a competition, but I know down there on the Rhine they do a thing called Rhine Fire, where they do fireworks at the they do fireworks at one of the castles, and then I can't remember if they go north or south, but they do one castle, then they do the next castle, and then the next castle, and they call it the Rhine Fire. I think that's every year though.
Jared, I found out why sailors are not allowed to have a slow motion camera.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. not filming raspberries then. Oh yeah.
Oh, this was hilarious.
Whoop!
See, that's my problem.
So yeah, guys, every time, or this would be what a girl would say. Every time you hear a guy saying, "No, that condom is way too small for me." No,
I just get a trash bag. It works for me.
The face.
Oh.
But when it comes to
Go to the end of that one.
Fireworks and my love for music, actual music, not that computer generated crap we hear today.
Oh god, yes. This is definitely why sailors are not allowed to have a
Edinburgh, the Royal Military Edinburgh Tattoo. That I would love to go to, and I do have someone. I know someone who works there, so works for the company that does it. So.
Hey, Anthony, that last frame there of that, Anthony.
Oh my God.
Let's see his cake routine.
Hey,
Look on
Anthony.
his face.
Hey, Anthony, give up on that fucking dildo you got and get one of those. Fill full of water and freeze it.
I think he also ripped his pants or his coat, lab coat, just because of the wind. I think
they did a bunch of like water and wind tests with it.
Test my ass. They were having fun.
Hey, who says science is not allowed to be fun?
Yeah, all you have to do to use the excuse of it being science is just writing down
Write down your results. Yeah.
Oh, that's horseshit. Where's the fucking independent variable and fun?
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh
Here we
no.
go.
Variable. Oh, Riley, where are you?
This one's for Schrodinger's cat.
Here you go. Here you go. Watch that.
That's a Volkswagen commercial, I think, from the 80s.
A Volkswagen versus a Saab. Oh shit!
I hope you did.
You guys ever see that spoof video? It's all CGI.
Oh, there it is. It survived.
You guys ever see that spoof video? Of course, it's all CGI. It's what the fuck is the name? He's making a spoof about that Van Damme. Chuck Norris is on the straddling the two wings of the C-17s.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
He's making fun of. Oh, you haven't seen that fucking little spoof?
I haven't seen that one.
I'll pull that one up here in a second, Jared. This one's for Schrodinger's cat. If you ever
micro pistol.
The world's
remember
tiniest gun.
If Anthony got a hold of that thing, he'd probably shoot himself in the dick with it.
He wouldn't be able to find it. Was it?
I know. He's got that problem with a lot of things.
Damn.
Blink.
I think it's time. Okay, Jay. I think that we will. It's not high speed, I know, but I need to see a certain point. Well, what is it? Point. I don't like your American. 22 caliber machine gun, belt-fed machine gun.
Oh. I think we can end that one on that, right?
Listen, you got to do that. You got to do the one with Chuck Norris. You got to do the one with Chuck Norris for.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
It's spoofing. What's his name? Van Damme, because Van Damme was doing the thing with the trucks. So
yeah,
like
I
Chuck
remember
Norris
that one.
Yeah, so Chuck Norris okay. Well, it's all CG. Like fuck that. Chuck Norris is better than Van Damme. Top this motherfucker.
How the independent variable literally destroys the ball. Apply scientific method. Yeah, Anthony. I don't think you think what that word means is actually what that word means.
What does a lawyer know about the scientific method to begin with?
He's been trained to evaluate evidence.
As I recall,
is that why he's not an actively practicing lawyer?
Okay, here, watch this video. This part right here is
commercial.
no. This part's real, and it's Van Damme doing his thing. But watch how they how Chuck Norris. It's of course the CGI, but how Chuck Norris fucking ups the ante. Because this is real.
He actually did that. It's better
but
when they zoom out unless the spoof thing. But yeah.
Yeah, but Jared, watch what
is actually real, and they are backing. They're not driving forward; they're actually backing those trucks up, which just makes it even more insane. Although it's not a,
I just love the Norris part. It's
Here we go. Let's see if there's Norris coming in. I saw a fact fiend video about this one. This actual commercial where they asked, they were talking to this guy Van Damme about how much practice he would need before doing it. No practice. Don't need to warm up either. I'll just do it. It's insane.
Wow.
This is a setup to demonstrate the stability of the Volvo dynamic steering or whatever.
Yeah. And here's
Chuck Norris.
This can't be good.
It's CGI, of course, but it's
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has the cowboy hat on.
And he's
hang on, balancing someone on his head.
Not just
a
someone.
couple people.
Special forces.
Wow.
Yeah. Just looking at his clothing. Flying very quickly. Fast.
Okay, that was good.
Oh my god, that was classic.
Wait. Oh, hold on. Wait.
That was an appropriate answer.
I'm sure we have something better.
But wait.
Oh no, it's the end of it.
Merry Christmas. Yes.
Wait.
Yeah, during the part where Chuck Norris there's actually there's somebody in the background saying something. It makes no sense, but it just sounds all mystical and shit.
Uh-oh.
Well, have you guys seen the Chuck Norris commercial for World of Warcraft?
Oh yeah. Oh, Van Damme again.
A very bad rendering, but yeah. And also the American, the Stars and Stripes is on the wrong shoulder.
No, it can be on that shoulder. It's just facing the wrong way.
Yeah. If it was, if it was on that shoulder, it would have been inverted.
Jeez.
No, it would be facing the wrong way. The stripes would be ahead of the stars, indicating retreat.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's just, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't misheard. Thinking, what the? Thinking that they would put the flag upside down. That would be bad. But yeah, which not all countries can do, by the way. To signify danger or trouble. We can't, for example.
For us, we're always moving forward.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the way it's on the shoulder, it makes it look like if you're walking forward, it makes it look like the flag is fluttering in the breeze.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I personally think that's a bullshit excuse that some general came up with when some Korean company fucked up making the damn flags for the uniforms.
I could see that happening, yeah.
Or some office aide just so he can get a promotion.
Well, the thing is, though, when they switch to ECUs, it's Velcro, so you can just swap, which side you want to wear it on. But to make it look right, you had to wear it on.
I posted a video in the comments in the chat.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
Should be entertaining.
What did you do to us, Furball?
It's a car commercial.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
Hey, Brent, I was just looking at your avatar. Do you guys remember?
Stand by.
What are they called? College? No, what is it?
This
College
is not Furballs.
What are they called? I can't remember the YouTube channel now. Damn it.
The Modus.
Oh, is this a ladies fucking themselves up by recoil videos or?
Nope.
Oh, jeez.
This is actually a
okay.
self promo for a company.
That's why you fucking use a T&E device. Because normally you have a T&E device when you use a 50 cals and shit like that.
And a T&E is?
It's called a traverse and elevation mechanism. It goes underneath.
Okay. Yeah.
It goes underneath.
There you go.
Yeah, it goes underneath, and you can basically ratchet to go up so many degrees or so many mils.
Yeah, you
and
can
then
dial it in completely. Yeah. I get what you mean now.
And it holds it.
Yeah.
Hanging on to that baby by hand
And
is
you can
not easy.
No.
And you can set
that thing will fucking rise up on you.
Yeah, and you can set left, right, up, and down limits, so you don't shoot beyond your target area.
It's for example, like if you have, for example, when you're doing like a range car, like if you're in Afghanistan or whatever, you have assholes up on a mountain somewhere, you have like a certain rock that you shot at before with the 50 cal, so you know on your T device, if somebody clicks this way and somebody clicks that way, if on your first rounders are going to hit in that area. So if assholes are to say 100 meters to the left and up, you just turn your T&E device a little bit this way and elevate it a little this way, give a 5-round burst, and you're going to hit somebody.
Yeah, it's basically the same the same as on the mount for my long lost machine gun. Yeah,
same basic concept. That's a good thing right there.
Oh shit!
Oh, that commercial would not fly today.
No.
Nope.
That's as good as the language commercial. We are sinking. We are sinking. What are you thinking about?
The Berlin, yeah.
That one, or the coffee grounds commercial, where a U.S. aircraft carrier, I think it was, called up a blip on their radar or whatever. It was someone was in their way. They kept getting them to, move.
Sir,
hey, we are. If you do not move, we will fire upon you.
We are a lighthouse. We are manned by 2 men, a dog, and a cat.
Yeah, I think the original is a German commercial, but I can't remember.
Hey, speaking of TV, on a side note, if you guys have it or you have Hulu, on HBO is the miniseries Chernobyl, and it's very good. If you guys are watching it,
yeah, I've been watching that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I just watched the second episode last night. That is fucking creepy.
Yeah. The funny thing was cool.
The Spanish version.
It makes it funnier.
What?
But this is bullshit, because if it was the U.S. Navy, they would speak English. They wouldn't care.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Is this the one that it ends, we cannot adjust course because we're a lighthouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they say it in a funny way.
What I was trying to say about that Chernobyl thing in '96 in Germany, our USO that was in Wiesbaden was giving tours of it, where you can go there for a week when you had block leave.
I have almost gone twice. When I was in the Netherlands, we had everything scheduled, hadn't paid for anything yet. We were going to go. It was going to be like $800 for flights, hotel, and tour for a 4-day weekend for me and the wife to go visit. And then about a month before we were planning on actually doing it, she went and got pregnant.
Yeah, I went and got to see it.
Got it capped. Sucks.
I got to go see it in '96 when before they shut. It's called the Allure Pool, the swimming pool that's there. It was still in use up to '96, and I actually got to swim in that swimming pool.
Oh shit!
Now it's just But what's kind of eerie is I was watching that second episode. If you watch it, and there was the hospital workers go down to the basement and dump those clothes. Those clothes are still there.
I believe it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Veritasium did a video about it a couple years ago.
Yeah, there's when I went there in '96, I think they were shooting out 2,000 Roentgens at the time.
Oh, yeah, they said that's one of the most dangerous spots outside of
October
the facility
25th.
itself.
Yeah, but the question is, do they literally have the whole city fenced in? Because
it's an exclusionary zone. They have checkpoints on the way in.
But do they have it surrounded by
a fence?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I mean, people are stupid enough to actually, go steal stuff.
When you come down to the road, there's a checkpoint, and you can see the fence line going to your left and your right where it disappears in the wood line, but it's about as far as it goes because people still get in there, and what they call them, looters and stuff. A lot of stuff has been looted.
I think there's still like 100 people that live in the area.
Yeah, in the exclusion zone, but nobody lives in Pripyat.
Yeah. So we had to cancel our trip because my wife got pregnant and she refused to let me go on my own. And then a couple of years, this would have been in 2011, I was working security for the Secretary of the Army, and he did a mission to Kiev, or no, not Kiev. It was in Ukraine, and we were right on the Polish border, but we flew in and out through Kiev. So I took 4 days of leave at the end of the security mission after the Secretary left, and I was going to go visit the site then. As soon as I landed and checked my email, I got a message stating that the government in Kiev had put a temporary hold on all tours to do a safety assessment. The day I fucking got there.
You could just have borrowed a couple of lead aprons and stuck them on her. Well, the thing is, long as she doesn't, kick up. As long as you guys don't kick up a lot of dust. And she breathes it in. I mean,
the problem is in Pripyat, there's different places. Some places are hot zones, and some places are not that bad. If you go to Pripyat, it's kind of like getting the equivalent of a couple X-rays if you spend all day there. But if you go to different places, it's like getting like the basement of the hospital where the firefighter uniforms are all still a pile in the middle of the floor where they dumped them off 35 plus years ago. That stuff is still shooting at 2,000 Roentgens. It's extremely fucking nasty if you're there too long. And when we were doing when our tour guide was showing us around by the Ferris wheel, he and she were showing us around, and our Geiger counter started going off because you carry around these little, it's not like a dose meter, but you'd actually carry around a Geiger counter so you get more of like a what's happening, acute, not acute, but what's real time. And we came across, as we were walking down this path, all of our shit started fucking going off. We weren't even near anything that we thought was, they thought was going to be hot because they'd been through there before, but they never walked through there with a high enough dose meter. We actually went by, it was about half the grain of we actually found out what it was. It was a part of the nuclear fuel out of the reactor, and it was slightly smaller than a tip of a grain of rice, but it was, thousands of times more fucking, it's the kind of thing you pick up and then you realize what it is, you better put it down because you're going to start getting fucking tissue damage. But we just walking by, our shit started going off, all that, that we hear, typical crackling and beeping. Like, what the fuck? And so they told us to turn around and go back. And then they went back and they basically took their higher dose meter that they had and basically kind of dug around and cleared out some dirt and dug around a little bit. And basically what it was when we found out later from them when they took it in for testing, it wasn't just a piece of radioactive material. It was actually a very small sliver of uranium-238 that was from the actual physical core itself that was ejected out. And it was just sitting in this grass for 35 years.
No, but that reminds me of I got a present from my dad many years ago, a dosimeter, an analog dosimeter from the Cold War. One of those they're pen-sized, but this thing goes up to it's either 150 or 200 Roentgens.
Roentgens, yeah.
Yeah, Roentgens. It's a bit too high for my taste. I'd like, one that's a lot lower, so I could actually use it for stuff. I can't use it for measuring normal background radiation, for example. I would have to wait for too long, and since when you use the viewer to see how far up the scale it is.
Yeah.
It also charges up the capacitor inside, and it will not last for more than 24 hours, as per the manual.
In that in that series, what do you call it? Chernobyl, this last part. There's a scene, and it's very accurate, where everybody who is, when the people who were there, the plant manager and whatnot, they were using equipment that was saying they were getting 4 Roentgens, which is the physical. Huh?
It was 3.6.
Yeah, but the dose meter, the physical device they had can only go to 4. So you can have 3.6, 3.8, but you never have 4.1, 4.2. And they kept saying, okay, well, they were technically correct. That's as high as the stuff that they were detecting. So later in that afternoon, when the Army got there and they brought out the higher dose meters, and in the miniseries, they should kind of do a very good example of what actually did happen. The leader, the colonel who was in charge of the unit that was there for the hazardous material, he's like, I'll go out there and actually test this with my high dose meter on this truck. And so he drove around where the fire was. He comes back and he goes, it's not 4 Roentgen, it's 14,000. And everybody at that point, you realize this is a little bit worse than it. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to bring out if anybody's seen that TV series yet.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've been watching it.
Yeah, and then immediately the 2 plant managers were relieved and sent to Moscow that had been lying the whole time.
But the question is then, how much theoretically did they get? The equivalent of 2 years in a high altitude plane or something?
Well, it's, for example, like they talked about. It's also in the report. If you guys ever actually read the report about what happened, the thing with the fireman, if you watch it, there's a scene with the fireman picking up a piece of graphite, and that actually did happen. Excuse me. That actually did happen. A fireman did come up when they first started doing the fire, picked up a piece of the graphite from the reactor core with his hand, and he picked it up. And they told him basically put it down, and get back to work. And within minutes, his hands started fucking, massive radiation burns.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a very stupid thing to do. I mean, a professional firefighter.
But he didn't know. It's just just black.
Well, they didn't know how bad it was when the firefighters first got there. They just knew, well, there's a fire. We got to go deal with it. They didn't.
There's a fire on the roof.
They weren't told that the fire was the result of a reactor issue. And
because assholes kept downplaying it. Yep.
Yeah. But here's the thing about that scene though. He picks it up and he gets radiation burns on his hands and he starts screaming in pain. But in the second episode. The second episode, the professional physicist who's there telling the government what's the deal about this thing, he actually gives the correct, if you listen to what he says, he actually gives the correct numbers of what this guy who actually picked up. Because first up, there's talking about check x-rays. When this guy picked that thing up, it was the equivalent of 49,000 chest x-rays in his hand for that amount of period of time. And that's all this kind of thing in this video. I apologize for harping on this, but what the numbers they're giving, those are the actual numbers that was happening, and that was what actually was stated and found out in real life.
Yeah, they're trying to make it as historically accurate as possible in some areas.
Yeah.
The scene for the one worker went to actually looked into the core.
The two workers.
Oh, that was just eerie. Looking into a live core and then turning around and his face is burnt.
Are you talking about the one on the roof, or the two guys the two plant workers who went up there into the actual room and then looked down into the face of the reactor?
I think those two.
The guy on the roof. The guy that was forced to go look in there.
Yeah, he knew as soon as because you're looking inside. It's not just like they say. It's not a fire. You're looking into an actual fusion reactor doing its thing, uncontained, and you just looked into it. I looked into it. It might be okay. No, you're
gonna die.
You committed yourself suicide, and it's not going to be, you start, your lymphocytes start. I mean, not lymphocytes, but you start turning inside out, and you start, liquefying from the inside and all that nasty shit. So he knew at that point what was going to happen. And But those two guys who were closer, who were inside the reactor building, opened the door and went in there and looked over the edge, looking straight into the actual reactor. Could see everything perfectly clear. They were fucked from the instant their eyeballs looked at it. So
I did another security mission to Idaho Falls. Out in the desert past Idaho Falls is a radio silence type area where they do a lot of communication testing. And it's also where the reactor cores are, or
Prototype.
the reactors are designed. Yeah, the prototypes are designed out there. And the very first breeder reactor came online there, and it's a museum piece. It's only open during school season, though, because college kids run it. And I was out there for a mission, and it was over the summer, so it was closed. We were staying in Idaho Falls, which was about a 2-hour drive. The boss was going out to do a visit out there, and I was advanced, so I had to be out there like 5 hours before he got there. So as I'm driving out there, I called the security guys that I was working with. I was like, hey, is there any chance we could go actually like look at the museum piece, the reactor? It's like, oh yeah, I'll be over there in like 10 minutes. I'll bring the keys. And for an hour and a half, me and this security guy just walked around the first nuclear reactor that ever came online, just reading all the stuff, wandering around all on our own. And I walked into this little room. It was a concrete room. It was really weird. It's like, what the fuck is this? And it was down a little hallway. And he's outside the hallway, and he looks at the plaque on the outside. He's like, oh, that's the reactor core room. And just the feeling in my stomach of what the fuck did I just do?
Furball, you're a nerd, you're a fanboy, and I'm jealous.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned being out that way because, for those who don't remember, my dad was Navy before I was, obviously, and he was nuke. He was a submarine nuke, and he joined in 1975. And at that time, he did basic training and the A school portion of nuke down in Orlando, Florida. The next phase was out there at that reactor farm in Idaho. So he did power plant out there and then went to Kings Bay, Georgia for the end of it. And, God, where did they end up after that?
Talking with the security guy was interesting, and he's just like, yeah, they've got dozens of reactors out there, and we've got to do our security checks. I want it roving around and all that. He's like, the weirdest thing is looking into the pools and looking directly at radioactive material glowing blue.
Oh, yeah.
It's just not normal. You're not supposed to be able to do that.
I've done that.
It's called the Charkov effect. I can't remember exactly the name of the blue, that blue haze that comes off.
Yeah, it's not literally radiation you're looking at. It's like when you're looking at
it's ionization.
When you have a laser pointer, one of those green ones.
Oh yeah.
You're not actually looking at a green laser. You're looking at a red laser. And I think you're shining that red laser at a ruby, I think it is, and it excites it and it turns it into a different color. It's the same effect, basically, isn't it?
Well, the Cherkov effect is atoms being ionized. Mm-hmm. So it'll be a blue. Oh. So in the case of Chernobyl, it was when they're flying up to it, and you can also see from a distance it was a blue glow, and then you go to there's also videos online where you can see like small study reactors and breeder reactors starting up. You see that blue flash. Yep. And then it just grows blue. It's get bluer and bluer. I can't. Like I said, I'm butchering the name, but it's called the Cherkov radiation or some shit like that. I can't.
Cherenkov radiation.
That sounds about right.
Someone in the chat is saying Cherenkov.
Yeah, I can't read.
I can't help thinking about Zulu, but
Chernenkov.
On a side note, guys, I gotta go let the cows get on the other side of the property tonight so they can do their thing. So it's been fun. You guys in the chat, I didn't see anybody. I'm on my phone, so I can't see anybody chat. But hello, chat, and goodbye, chat. And y'all take it easy, and you kids be good.
Later,
guys.
Bye.
Have you guys ever heard of or built a cloud chamber?
No.
Hey, I'm working on it. I have the radioactive element from an old smoke detector. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty much there. I just need to build an acrylic chamber and.
A cloud chamber. I want it. This is another one of those nerdy things I want to do. Basically,
it's a different type than what you're talking about. Though.
Okay, yeah. So the cloud chamber is some kind of a box, acrylic box. You put isopropyl alcohol in it, and I think you need dry ice to put under it, because that creates the cloud from the isopropyl alcohol, and it helps if you put down black or something inside, so that you can see it, and it's the mist from the isopropyl alcohol as it sublimates back and forth, and then you take some kind of a radioactive element and you put it near the cloud. You're right on the edge of the cloud chamber, and you can start seeing vapor trails from non-ionizing radiation.
And that wasn't what I was thinking about. It was something else. That's much easier. You could use that kind of experiment to see. You can make that experiment, but without using any radioactive elements, because you can see the cosmic radiation shooting into it.
Here,
the thing I was. Yeah,
I'll send Jay a link.
I'm trying to find.
Yeah, this is something you can do at home. The hardest thing to get with a cloud chamber is you've got to buy the radioactive material, and you can buy radioactive carbon. It's on a pinhead off of Amazon.
But that's the weird part. I'm wondering why you're talking about radioactive materials, because the experiment I'm thinking about, you don't need any radioactive materials. It's an experiment that you can make at home with the household stuff. To make cosmic background radiation visible, you can see you get to see those streaks of. You
might be able to do that with a cloud chamber as well, but you're guaranteed to get those trails if you have the radioactive element.
Oh yeah, to excite it or to make it more sensitive. I can't remember that stuff. Yeah.
If one kid did for.
Sorry.
The one kid who did a high school project, he ended up creating a nuclear reactor.
Mm-hmm.
Built it in his mom's garden shed. That was classic. He did it for his Eagle Scout program.
That's what it was. Yeah. I remember.
He literally.
What was he? He was collecting.
He got it out of old alarm clocks. He got it out of
smoke detectors. Yeah. He did get his Eagle Scout, didn't he?
Yes, he did, but he also, he got hammered by the federal government too.
For being Tony Stark?
Pretty much.
I don't know how hot his reactor got to before they had to get rid of it, but it was what the size of a potato, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
it
was
pretty
small.
It's been a little while.
It was small, but it got.
I'm pretty sure that the DoD has the ability to, if the radiation is high enough.
I don't remember how it got caught.
Powerful enough, and at a certain type of radiation, they would be able to see it.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about science fiction.
I think he actually set off a detector somewhere close by to him. Is what happened.
Yeah, the local detector, radiological detector.
Hospital, maybe. Yeah.
I'm sure they hired him right after that too. Come work for us,
Jared. I'm gonna haunt your nightmares.
Oh God.
Just imagine being a kid, and you're home. You're messing around, and your mom is home as well. Then you get a knock on the door from FEMA in a full suit, bodysuit. Imagine the mom freaking out completely. Oh, that must be fun to watch. I mean, film. And totally not put out on YouTube.
What was that one movie where that kid he decided to create a bomb? Oh, I can't remember what the name of that movie was.
Oh,
the Manhattan Project.
Manhattan Project.
Is it Manhattan? Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. Well, and he ended up getting a hold of the uranium they were making locally, or plutonium, or whatever it was.
Yeah, it starred John Lithgow.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. It's an ingenious setup.
That kid was fucking airhead.
You don't say.
I want to see if I can make a nuke. Please don't.
Okay, here you go, Jared.
For the science convention.
Where am I looking?
I will
Discord.
have this at the auction. Jihadis are us.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the live stream currently.
For what?
What's going on?
Fucking idiots.
Live stream on YouTube?
Ding.
Oh, Father Skeptic in his debate.
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
no.
Oh no, different idiots. Is there even a good
I
way
have a
to
puppy
say it?
licking the bottom of my foot right now. Just saying.
That would be preferable to what I'm about to
Look.
show you guys.
Furball, don't talk about the dog. You know that only invites the pig in.
Who is?
But it does sound like the dog is doing something more
Oh, no.
intelligent than
Oh, that's the one guy
what
from
the
Utah Outcast.
hell?
From Utah Outcast, that one guy is.
Who are the idiots?
Is this the band of idiots going around raiding different live streams?
The dipshit formerly known as Godless Iowan.
Ugh, I ain't watching any of that. Nope.
Oh, that guy.
Okay, I'm not familiar. I'm
He'll
not
just get me
familiar
angry.
with Godless Iowan.
He's a full-on SJW idiot. Well, not idiot. He's an ass. Not that
He cites his sources.
I ever engaged with him all that much. But.
He cites his sources, but then he leads off with BuzzFeed.
Yeah, that's the lead-off source for this stream I just shared a few seconds ago. Oh no, he's updated it now. DepartmentOfNumbers.com income. Alabama State Department of Numbers income for Alabama. The average median median household. Ooh. No wonder it's below the I mean, I can't imagine why it would be below the national average.
Yeah, no idea why.
Here's the source.
Why am I not seeing?
Let's see.
I don't know what idiot you're referring to in the live stream chat.
It's not our live stream chat.
No,
There's
there's
a live stream I shared a window.
yeah, there's been commentary on Twitter and whatnot, and it's almost like median income is factored in by cost of living and also economic opportunities.
Yeah.
You don't say. I didn't know
I mean,
anything about that.
You want to talk about economic opportunities? I saw North Korea last week.
Wait.
And it was riveting. You could see everything.
Wait.
No.
Wait. Are you gonna pull a Quark and want to take over the country through the power of economics?
Yes.
Is that why I got a
Switch to
list
guide
of all
the?
Is that why I got a list of all the rules of acquisitions?
Oh, the Frankie rules of acquisition.
Yeah, little
Bible.
little preview for the show tomorrow.
Oh yeah, what's our topic for tomorrow? I got to do some research.
Star Trek.
So how much of STD have you gotten through, Jay?
Oh, jeez.
I'm on the third disc of the first season.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help.
2 episodes into that.
I couldn't help hearing STD.
Yeah, I paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about what it's equivalent to.
Yeah.
Shall I share what I said to Furball and Gio in our little group there, Jared?
Might as well.
About what I thought of the writers? Let me pull that up here. As Jared knows, I bought the first season of STD on disc. The only nice thing I can say, the writers are smarter than Liley, Ranty, and Oakley combined.
No.
Geo.
Duh.
You can buy STDs.
That doesn't really say anything. That's my point, is what I said.
What is STD?
Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You did say STD. I thought you meant STG. And not something. Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
I've seen both seasons of Stargate Discovery. Star Trek, sorry.
Stargate Discovery.
You know what? You know what? It is closer to Stargate.
Oh, you mean
than it
the
is-
series with R2D2 in it? Yeah. That'll just piss off everybody.
Oh, wait.
Well, hey, like I say, Star Trek Discovery, if you just, imagine a world where this has nothing to do with Star Trek whatsoever, it's a decent series. They're overdoing the special effects, especially for lens flares.
Did they talk to J.J. Abrams?
I don't think so.
They were trying to recapture the success that he had with the first movie.
Yeah, but they
all
did
the
overdo
lens
that
flaring.
a little bit. But yeah.
Then you wait till you watch season 2.
I'm afraid to.
Hey, it gets better. I think personally, I think season 2 is better than season 1, and they did one of those fucking annoying cliffhangers on the final episode. I'm not going to say how or what or when, because that will spoil it. But they did it very well in terms of pissing people off, especially if they won't make a third season,
or if they're going to do spin-offs.
Oh God, I hope not.
Oh no!
Speaking of spin-offs, I've been playing Star Trek Online.
Oh yes,
Jared.
I play that too.
I'm playing the Discovery storyline. I'm already regretting it.
I know that talking about the Matrix, the Matrix movies kind of parts the waters a bit. But how do you guys feel about there actually going to be a fourth one?
Oh my goodness!
What the fuck are they going to do it about?
I don't know. They're going to produce a fourth one. They're not sure about
timeline
getting the main actors back, but
Keanu Reeves.
It's a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it's a couple of weeks ago. I heard, read about the news, and it was confirmed that they will be producing a new one, filming a new one.
Wow!
They just didn't have they just didn't have the cast locked down yet.
Well, the thing is this one's the next movie in the Star Wars series is going to be done by the Game of Thrones guys. It's not going to be.
So they want to show off
so
their
it'll
shit
be
writing
so it'll be a porn movie.
It's not going to be a continuation of the Skywalker line. It's going to be.
It'll be an incestuous porn movie.
It's going to be an incestuous.
And lots of blood finally.
Hold on.
Wait.
I have it here.
So they're letting D&D destroy a second franchise?
Pretty much.
Because here's the thing. You can see where the writing for the series in Game of Thrones started to go downhill, and it was when they had caught up with the books.
Yeah.
And started had to go off of the outline that George gave them. And sorry, George don't work from outlines.
And he works on how old is that machine he works on? He writes his books on?
Oh God, it's a late 80s or maybe an early 90s word
I don't
processor.
even think it has a GUI interface.
No, it's still the black and green screen.
Oh, it's like a monochrome IBM or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go, Jared, just for you.
What the?
Another Indiana Jones movie? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you mean a computer that with a hard drive that whines so badly that if kids are around it, they need hearing protection. And it has a whole 50 megabytes.
Oh my goodness!
No, wait, not from that era. That would be what above 256 megabytes. But wow.
Okay, hang on. Go scroll up. Let's start at the end of this year and let's see how bad it gets. Ford versus Ferrari? What the fuck?
Oh, jeez.
What? Huh? A movie called what?
The Art of Racing in the Rain?
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I mean, I am kind of excited with the Lion King thing because the trailer I saw was just for the FX. It looked very
Fuck the
lifelike.
Lion King. Fuck the Lion King.
But I would have to do it with a nephew or a niece.
That's gonna be
just
Bob
to have an
Burgers.
excuse to go.
That could be interesting.
Hey, they might just make yet another Jumanji movie because they fucked up the new one. They fucked up the latest one anyway. They shouldn't have made that. Why? It's just it's just like when Apple decided to make that stupid notch on their phones. Everybody else started doing it. When a certain production company decides to shoot a remake of a movie, everybody else jumps on the same wagon and wants to do it themselves.
Oh no. Here's the thing, Bo. They've been doing remakes for long enough. It's because they can't find any new material that's worth a damn.
Or they can't find someone's idea to buy from.
Yeah.
Or
which
someone,
actually there
with the talent pull it off.
There was a title there that I am not entirely upset with what I've seen so far about it. Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix.
Oh.
They are actually doing it right in the sense that the Phoenix entity is coming from outer space.
Yeah, I remember that.
If only they would make a good Ghostbusters remake.
I think they're doing another one.
A third movie.
They're
a third movie. That would be great. If they just made a third movie, that would be awesome.
Making of Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah, because there are only two.
There are only two Ghostbuster movies. Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
it's that one that was purported as a remake / reboot / repeat or whatever the fuck. That was an atrocious abortion disaster.
Here you go, Bo.
It's horrible, and I have not seen that movie. I have seen clips of it. I've seen trailers of it. It is horrible. I mean, just take the very first scene of the original Ghostbusters movie, the library scene.
Oh yeah,
how much budget did they have for the special effects? Pocket lint. That's the amount of money they used on it. Pocket lint, because they didn't have any.
I just need to say that as a child, the library scene fucked me up. Just saying.
I didn't.
I love that scene.
Yeah, but when you they reshot that scene in the newer bad copy of it. Not going to say what the movie was. They basically copied it, shot from shot, angle from angle, etc., etc. The special effects are worse than from the original, and they had a lot more, but a lot higher budget to do it. They had a lot higher, not only the special effects, but also the lighting and camera equipment, better software, and they still fucked it up.
Everything for the feminized version of that movie, was going to be way better. But somehow 84 still kicked its ass. There is no doubt. I mean, but you cannot get the
Here you go, Furball.
The fact that Murray
you can go fuck yourself.
Who played Egon? I'm drawing a blank on Egon's name.
Yeah, the black guy who's dead now.
That's black guy.
I can remember the names from each other. So
yeah.
So is Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
The egghead.
Yeah, Ramis is dead.
Yeah, he had Ramis. He had, those two had a working relationship going back to Saturday Night Live. And that really gave their chemistry on screen a really good boost.
What are you barking at?
But you take four women who've never worked together, and then you throw them into a remake, reboot, and it flops miserably because there was no chemistry between them. between any of them.
Well, no, here's the bad thing. A couple of them have worked together before on SNL as well, and they still had shit chemistry. Like the black chick, the one who is supposed to be the nerdy one, they were overlapping cast members on SNL.
Oh, were they? I hadn't watched
Yeah.
SNL since 1996. So
You stopped when it was still watchable.
I stopped as soon as the church lady.
I love the church lady.
Dana Carvey.
As soon as he left, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Left, I quit watching because at that point, when I tried, I mean, when Farley died and when
Oh no.
when Farley died,
I need to see that.
Completely unwatchable for me.
Honest trailers for Howard the Duck. Yes.
We're not playing it here.
No.
No, that would be unfair.
Are they trying to remake Howard the Duck too?
No.
That's
There's
becoming a
YouTube
TV
channel
series,
out there.
isn't it?
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel out there. I can't remember what it's called, but they have different series going on. One of them is honest trailers. They get the audience to write in suggestions in the comments, both on YouTube, on Facebook, or whatever. And whatever they come up with, they make an honest trailer. And they've got this guy with an awesome movie trailer voice, and they make the coolest trailers ever. You've got to see those. They're funny as hell. Honest trailers.
Somebody told me. Somebody filled that to me in Discord in a DM.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just send me that link. I need to go check that out just to see what's on there.
Yeah.
Some
of them are not as cool, but I mean they really kick ass. Most of them.
Here's something you don't want.
Well, I can't look at my screen and drive.
Yeah, I'll find one for you.
Oh
man,
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Give that to a flat
That is
earther.
the only reason why I would ever want a Roomba.
Well, hey, reprogram a Roomba to do that.
No.
The screaming Roomba.
Just drive around, look at, kind of like war driving, if you know what that is. Just looking for someone who doesn't know how to, make their wireless equipment secure. Find one that find a Roomba or a robot vacuum cleaner that's hooked up to the house Wi-Fi and reprogram that thing.
Well, that was a story I heard from somebody. He got divorced, but they never changed the Wi-Fi on the thermostat. So he
that needs to fall under Reddit under pro revenge, right?
Yeah, and he did too. So his ex got remarried, and what it was is when they went on vacation. So when it was like wintertime, he turned the AC on during the wintertime. And then during the summertime, turned the heat on.
Nice.
He deserves an award.
So talk about, and also talking about running up the electric bill.
Oh, what about, I remember hearing about one where there was a battle over the house, and one of the spouses, the guy remarried a really young chick, and they wanted to live in that house. So before moving out and taking her stuff out, the now ex-wife put a couple of fish inside some oversized curtain rods.
No.
So over time, the house just started to reek, and they tried.
I believe it.
They tried professional cleaners. They tried fixing the central air system. They tried changing out the drapes and all the carpet and everything. The smell never went away.
Oh.
She ended up buying the house back off of them for dirt cheap because we can't get rid of the smell. And they couldn't sell the house. She goes in, gets rid of the curtain rods, and puts up new, and it's fine.
Oh. That's ultimate revenge. Oh, hang on. Here's a good one for you. Give me a second here. And here, incoming. Here, I'll play this.
Ooh, yes, I've seen this one.
Oh yeah, the Chinese.
That's a pretty good RC
company. Yeah, they make a lot of cool stuff. It's elaborate. They also make different kinds of things from different series, and
That is cool.
Yeah, but
yeah,
but
submarines.
yeah, but this one with the way it moves in the water, it's the perfect medium for
unfortunate.
it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they don't have neutral buoyancy equipment in there, so they have to keep it moving. Otherwise, it'll just surface.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
is unfortunate. But hey, they're cheap. They're cheap, so it's cool. But they have very different. I think they have Firefly submarines too.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
They have practically everything.
Oh, not this again. Honest show, no. Honest trailer.
I think
I
I've
already
seen
shared this
that
in
one.
Oh, that can't be good.
I shared it in our group, Jared.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, was it Tank that wanted a link to one of them?
It was
I posted
you
the link
wished,
to the
and
Howard the
it's
Duck one.
yeah.
Mm.
It's in the live chat. It's in the internal chat, and
it's on Discord.
It's chat.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah.
Oh,
you get a meme. You get a meme. Everyone gets a meme.
Oh, but you got to pay taxes on that meme. Shit.
Okay. Anybody hungry? I got some food for you.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Oh, okay.
Oh,
wow!
My God!
Oh,
talking about right there.
Oh.
How in the?
Okay, I'm gonna say because this looks so awesome that even if it had a pineapple on it, I would delete it. Damn.
Okay. So.
Wow.
Oh, it's a $2,000 thing. Yeah.
And they sell.
You know, I can.
They sell Pepsi. Ew.
Yeah. Although I tell you what, the best thing that I've had to eat since I've been back in Texas is a Whataburger.
Oh, that's a thick.
Yeah, so they do a pre-cook of the lower crust, dress it like they're making a burger.
I'd rather call it a heart attack, but
that is a heart attack waiting to happen.
How much will that thing end up weighing? I don't care about the calories because I'm
40 pounds.
How much?
40 pounds.
We got a place. I got a place nearby. It's called Denning's Beer Barrel.
Yeah,
Grill or bar.
18 kilos.
No.
And they make up to a 25-pound burger.
Come on, let's go downstairs.
And of course, it's for one person. And you don't get to leave until you're done.
No, I did the 2-pound challenge, but I couldn't finish it in the hour time frame.
And then topped with a pepperoni pizza.
When I was younger, I could eat a family pizza, a standard European family pizza, no problem. But with a 1.5 liter Coke bottle on the side of it, and I would finish both of them for a meal. But then again, I did have a high metabolism. But
God damn,
damn, that's just insane.
Look at that.
This gets me thinking. You remember those world's largest paella contest they have in Spain or whatever it is every now and then? They get really, really big. Those pans they use, they're about what, 15 feet wide or something?
Yeah, well, just remember, she likes it big.
I think I'm actually getting chubby.
First of all, you do not use cutlery with a pizza. Second, Plastic cutlery?
Have you?
Damn it!
Hang on. Have you had a
Metal.
true Chicago deep dish pizza?
I have eaten a deep pan pizza, and
No.
But no, I haven't. No.
Chicago style. That's the thing. Chicago style at the beginning, you have to, because if you go to pick it up, it will fall apart on you.
What is it a quarter foot tall or something?
So when you look at most American style deep dish pizzas, it's a thick crust all through. The Chicago style, it is a flakier cake style crust, but it follows the shape of the pan, so you get a fuck ton of toppings literally inside of it. The main chain restaurant that actually does it that way correctly is Uno's Pizzeria.
Oh no.
No, you have to stretch it out a little bit. It has to be. You were getting kind of close to to Family Guy, but you got to do it better. No, wait, not Family Guy. Damn it! What is it? What is it? Damn it! Let's see. It is Family Guy. Oh no! Family. No. Family. American Dad. That's the one. American Dad.
Yep.
Oh no.
No. There's character that does that in Family Guy.
Yeah, but is it a crossover or a different guy?
Different characters. Same creator, same writer. It is Seth MacFarlane.
I mean, I think it's cool. Yeah, it's awesome that he does crossovers, but they should do some more.
I found here we go, Flight Simulator.
Oh, now that would be fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Love the gimbal.
But then again, I don't. I've seen this already. I don't think this is a real video, a real thing. This is no.
The simulator?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it's been sped up too.
I mean, what we're looking at is fake. I think it's accelerate. The rotations are. I mean, he is accelerating way too fast. There is no wind up, wind down in the movements, and it doesn't seem like he is subjected to those G-forces. For example, his head, and also the equipment. I mean, the screen. I don't know what technology that screen is. I don't know the brand of it, of course. But
yeah,
if it was a Panasonic plasma TV, it would not survive.
Oh no, but
it just wouldn't.
But from looking at it, thin panel is either LCD or LED.
Yeah, it is quite kind of thin. If it was a Panasonic plasma TV, yeah. I know that Samsung made their last series of high-end plasma TVs they did make him that thin, but they didn't last very long.
No.
Not longevity and not
durability.
Wise. Yeah, that too. Yeah. But then at that time, that they had stopped using Delta for their power supplies. Yeah, the company that makes power supplies. But that's just me nerding out. But I've seen that video before. It's cool, but it's I'm thinking it's a fake one.
I know a group of kids that did a project. They were calling it the Viper Project, where they wanted to do a Viper cockpit from Battlestar Galactica, and they did a similar gimbal setup. But they had instead of one screen, they had three smaller ones.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Have like the cockpit windows.
Yep. Yeah, and they did it. They got it working, and they got the whole gimbal working and everything. They did a pretty good job, and it was, I think, a high school project they did. It was not just. It was just a group of kids that did it.
Oh, so I was going back through comments. Hey, Main Gun, did you want me to explain how the chain is actually routed?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let me make sure I have the appropriate image available. This folder. And...
Oh, while we're waiting, here we go. You don't piss off John Wick. They know you done fucked up.
All right, so
Okay.
I can use that image for it. So let's go ahead and open this with, there it is. Just that.
Oh no, I found the flat earthers' typical response to everything.
Oh, you have you?
The one I used earlier? It looks fake to me. Come on. What the? Huh?
Oh, those fucking Sesame Street characters.
All they're saying is nope.
Yeah.
All they say is nope.
Nope, nope,
Nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope, nope, nope, nope.
I love the one where they find the telephone.
Oh yeah.
Ring.
Yep. See, that's the typical flat Earth response. Nope, 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 nope.
All right,
Nope, 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 nope.
we'll do it this way. Make it easier for everybody.
Uh-oh.
Ah, the breaker of chains.
How
So, yeah.
dare you?
That little fucking bastard was the root cause of it. For those who haven't seen the video on Moto, but Main Gun here did have a question about how a chain is actually utilized on the bike. So, as you can see here, we have a bare sprocket at the rear wheel. That is your direct linkage to actually drive the wheel to get you moving.
Right.
But what gets interesting is this black cover here, right in front of the swing arm. Behind that is a much smaller front sprocket. That is the direct output of the engine through the gearbox. So the chain will spool around that sprocket, have your slack underneath onto the rear sprocket, and on my bike here, the rear mudguard, the rear fender here, is also a part of the chain guard. So the chain will actually route through channels here behind the exhaust, behind the foot peg assembly here, along the top of the swing arm, onto the top of that sprocket. So go for it.
It doesn't make any weird turns. It just goes through the two sprockets and that's it.
Yep, it's only making contact at the two sprockets. But what gets interesting, and this is where the setting the slack, setting the chain tension, which is done by a nut on the back side of the swing arm here on each side, which will physically move the axle forward and back. As that tension is important, because what happened was I was in the middle of a turn. So it was an uphill turn. So the bike was squatting. So the suspension was working. This point right here, that is the pivot point for the swing arm. So underneath the seat, a little towards the right-hand side, is where the rear shock is, right about here. So as you are engaging the rear shock travel and the bike squats, that takes up the slack that was preset at the bottom of the chain. So if you're tight to begin with, and then you try to apply power in the middle of that sort of compressed state of the rear suspension, if your chain's not taken care of or it's not good quality, you will snap a link in the same manner. The risk you run into is when you break the chain, because of this confined space around the front sprocket, you could get binding there and end up damaging the internals of the gearbox and the engine, or it might get stuck around the rear sprocket at the back wheel and cause it to lock up and potentially buck you off, like literally throw you forward off the bike.
That would suck.
Yeah, that's called a high side.
Especially if you get the further insult of being run over by your own bike.
Yeah,
I'll just make it worse.
Oh, that would really suck.
Well, and I can see that happen, and a couple other things that would cause a chain to break. What I don't understand is the kink in the chain, because if it was me, and now mind you, I'm ignorant of bikes. I'm a truck and car guy, but if it was me and I would have picked up that chain, I would have thought to myself that kink happened, somewhere after the break, as the chain is doing weird things and hitting the ground and flying all over the place. But I thought you had said that kink had that kink was the cause of the break.
That is my thought, because that kink would take up the slack. Because so here's the thing with you can see here where the master link, where a link broke, and I can tell by checking the length of the chain that was the master link. So it is the weakest rivet point on the chain, so it makes sense for it to break there. But the reason I surmise that this was binding of it is what caused it is because the bike was running fine. And then the way I could tell there was the failure is because as I was going through that turn and finishing it and rolling back on the throttle, is I felt the rear suspension bump alone. So it bound up, causing a change in the rear suspension geometry, but then that master link failed quickly enough that the bike ended up just flinging the chain.
But how would it kink in the first place?
I tend to go towards the more loose side of it, because the way I ride, I end up using all of the suspension travel. So I don't want it to bind. When I put that chain on, I went toward, so the spec for slack on the bike is 25 to 27 millimeters of travel. And you measure that by when no weight on the bike, you lift the bottom of the chain about the middle of the swing arm at the tightest spot. You lift it until you see the top part of the chain that is up routed through here starts to lift. When that chain starts to lift, that's the upper limit of the tension area. So you measure from your starting point till you hit that point, and you adjust you're essentially adjusting the wheelbase length on the rear axle to set that tension, that slack, to that target range. I was right at 25 mil when I put that chain on. So that was in spec, but the tighter end of in spec.
And I probably would have done the same thing, because as the chain wears, it's going to increase in right.
Yeah, and that's where on this time I went to 26.5 instead of 25 on the chain that's on there now. Here's the thing that factored in the back of my head, which I probably should have mentioned in the video. The chain that I replaced it with is an $85-$90 chain. That is the cheapest chain for that diameter and that length of chain that I need. My other options, you start getting up into the it goes from, the options I had were either this one, which I could pick up for $85, or I could spend, what was it, $30 more or $60 more. Those were my three options for the diameter chain. And being the frugal one, I was like, you know what? It's a chain. It should last well enough. Yes, a cheaper chain I should have to replace more frequently, but this is where build quality becomes a question, because let me go ahead and get into that folder again and pull up the close-up of that. So you'll be able to see. So what happened is this is the link that bound up. It literally got stuck on the link next to it.
Yeah, I've had that happen on bicycles as a kid, and that's a pain in the ass to get undone. And the chain never spins right again.
No, that's why as soon as I saw that and it didn't pop back loose on its own, I was like, nope, new chain. No sense in repairing it. And as I took a better look at it, this O-ring here got crushed. This one got stretched, which isn't bad, but this one would have potential integrity issue, and this one wouldn't be bad again, because stretching isn't bad. It's this extreme compression here and here that would cause the most concern. Now, here's the real kicker on the timing. It's depending on who you ask, it's anywhere from 250 to every 350 miles. You should clean, lube, and wax the chain, and also check your slack to make sure it's retaining. The end of my ride would have put me at just over 300 miles on this chain. I was planning on doing that preventative maintenance on it that night when I got home.
Yeah, but that is far too soon. Even if you would skip that PMCS, that is far too soon for that chain to be failing the way it did. There's something.
Well,
that's a defect.
I know absolutely nothing about this kind of stuff, but isn't there? You said that you chose the cheapest of the three.
It was the most cost-effective chain for the manor. So that's where this one could have been manufactured at around that length of chain, around that segment, just slightly out of spec, but it made it through QA.
What I'm thinking is, I imagine that the manual for the bike states what minimum torque the chain that you buy for it should be able to take.
Recommended. Well,
how high is that?
So the manual for the bike itself doesn't give a recommended tensile strength for the chain, but it does give you the diameter and length, number of links. So it gives you a length, and so the diameter is from outside face to outside face of a single link across here.
OD and ID. Yep. Basically, yeah.
Yep. And so the recommendation is a 520 chain, which that's what this is a 520. Because the actual number of links used on my bike are, the manual says 109, but in reality is actually 113 links is the actual length of the chain that's on there. I had to buy a 120 length chain, link chain, trim it down by those 7 links, and install.
I don't understand this. I mean, the dimensions of the chain, at best, can only be used as a guide, I guess, as to how strong it is.
So not necessarily, because of the 3 chain options that I have for a 520 street rated chain, that I can get 120 links or less. The rated tensile strength from the manufacturer of this chain is 8,000 pounds. One of the other ones was 7,500, and the most expensive one is rated at 9,000 or 9,500 pounds for the tensile strength. So for strength wise, this was middle of the road, but again, cheaper chain. It could have a wider tolerance.
Well, I know it's not exact science doing it this way, but couldn't you convert the God damn it, the Newton meters that it would potentially be subjected to by the maximum torque that your bike can give off?
So the way they do that is they end up giving you a motorcycle type and engine size recommendation for the chains, and that's where. So my machine is a street bike with a 600cc engine, a little over. The total that 520 chain is recommended for a sport bike at 1,000 cc's. So it is rated for a much. There's a bee on her. I remember that.
Hello. Yes.
Beautiful.
Full screen mode, slow motion, highest resolution possible. Come on.
That is a woman who is comfortable with her body, and I thank her for it.
I'm sorry, you were saying something, Jared?
You guys are absolutely bound and determined to land me in divorce court, aren't you? You do realize, even though I'm in Texas, my wife does watch the show.
Hey, and now she's down on all fours.
And here's the thing: your wife would be laughing along with us.
No, I don't think she would. If she heard me laughing over that or saying what you just said, Jared, I'd be headed for divorce court. Trust me.
Well, unless she has she also has an irrational fear of bees, of course.
So, anyways, to finish what we were talking about, Bo. So the chain that I have is rated for up to a 1,000cc engine sport bike. So it is rated for a much stronger engine. But when you get a kink like that develops and it shortens the chain, you're sending a spike that does exceed the rating for it. So that's why I think what happened is it was just the way it was set. I think that link just bound up right as the suspension was working. So as the suspension stretched back out as I was rolling on the throttle, it was just that enough to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's got too much slop and one end is moving. If one end starts accelerating faster than the other, than another portion is going, I could see how that kink could happen.
Yeah.
What the hell did you put in your?
I'm sorry to do the stereotype thing, but did a blonde fill the radiator up with motor oil?
Whoa. All right, you're gonna have to send a link to this one, Jay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no, it's on Facebook. Oh, man. Could you download it instead? Because
there are Facebook video downloaders out there.
Is this just a compilation of automotive fails?
Automotive fails.
Yeah, I think so. It's a 19-minute video. Yeah.
Here.
I hope it is.
I've seen some stupid crap.
There's some extreme sports.
Oh yeah, they had one of these set up at Fenway Park this past winter in Boston, and I saw it and I was like, yeah, no way.
Damn.
It's pretty much a downhill race for ice skaters.
Oh, what is that movie called? Where they're not ice, but they
were toying with this in the Olympics.
And look like someone lost their camera.
Are you thinking Roller Babies?
Yeah, no, not roller babies, but they
I remember that movie.
it was a Mad Max kind of movie, a dirty, gritty kind of thing, and they were playing with steel balls that they.
Was that called Powerball or something like that? Something ball. I think.
Rollerball.
Yeah, that's
Rollerball.
Roller ball.
Yep.
rollerball. Yeah,
Rollerball.
that's what I was thinking when I saw that. Oh, that looks.
Yeah, it was like a roller
that could not
derby
have
on.
been. But what we just saw
that?
was that an actual attempt at making it, using it as an Olympic sport?
Well, so that sport has been around for a few years now. Some people got the idea of it from looking at short course downhill BMX. And I was like, hey,
Oh yeah.
what if we did this on skates?
Oh yeah.
Well, hey, it's a great idea if they could make banking, corners, but using forming the ice so they can bank.
They
and
can.
not square corners.
Well, that's the thing. They can. The one that they set up in Boston, which actually, if you go to the channel Hockey Tutorial here on YouTube, they were there. And they did a video of a number of their staffers attempting it. And it did have some bank of the ice into the turn. And here's the way that they are actually able to do that and get the rounded up sections of it as well. You make it similar to the same manner that you do a luge course.
Oh, okay.
But at more severe turns and a shorter run.
Yeah, but what we were seeing on that video, there was nothing.
Oh no, that course now.
That was insane.
But it did start out as an extreme sport, and actually I think it has made a couple appearances on the Winter X Games the last year or two that it was running.
Yeah. But again, the video we saw, I can't imagine those runners, whatever you want to call them, that they made a walkthrough of that course before they started.
Oh yeah. No, you have practice.
They must
runs.
be drunk.
No, you have practice runs that you do, and then you have the heat race system. So of the entire pool, they break you up into individual heats. The top 2 or 3 from each heat move on to the next round until you get to the final race.
I have it downloaded, guys, but I was skimming through it some more and I saw this.
What the hell?
My God. Are they trying to make their own electric vehicle?
That's a fire hazard.
A lot of people do that.
Either that or that's for a sound system hookup.
That is not for a sound system, that's for sure.
Oh, you haven't been in some of the sound systems here in the U.S.
I've worked in at the the Panasonic Center. We usually host the Danish national contests. We're hosting them for decibels.
Yeah, well,
high decibels.
Here,
so I know the insane sets. I've seen what the crazy Americans can conjure up. But.
People have taken SUVs and entirely filled the middle and rear section with nothing but subwoofers and have shattered the windshield.
Hey, that's a normal occurrence with especially one of the guys that do this. He has a Volkswagen transporter van.
Okay, like what
the back is torn out. Is that the gear?
That's what it looks like to me.
That's an oil pump.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's the bottom.
I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be there.
It's
supposed to be somewhere else.
It's air cooled.
Air cooled.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. My engine is air cooled, but it still has an oil system.
Yeah. But no, the guy I'm talking about here, he has the whole back of the van converted into a subwoofer. He has 18-inch drivers on each side.
Oh God!
Of it. He has, I think it's about 20,000 watts per side in amplifiers. He has
what
4
else?
generators on it, and he can run the thing. And hey, these competitions, they're not allowed to use external power, of course.
Yeah.
He has a big ass capacitor,
small hobby,
super
doesn't he?
capacitor banks. You know, those huge Maxwell 3000 farad capacitors.
Yeah.
He has a couple of banks of those.
I like that guy's face there.
This guy, he owns one of the world's largest
hell?
privately owned guns and vehicles.
Collections or
This guy's out in California somewhere.
okay, he's a millionaire or
When
something.
the zombie apocalypse happens, I know where I'm going.
What
Yeah.
dragon armor?
Exactly.
Well, here's something you like. He
What
even
the
has
hell?
uniforms too, which is pretty.
I have never seen somebody
Oh wow!
take the American flag
Yeah.
and turn it into a butterfly looking.
He's got
thing.
authentic uniforms from
Oh.
almost every era
Hello.
and from different countries.
Okay, what the?
Is this the guy outside of Colorado Springs?
I don't know. I have to look him up.
I would visit him if I were.
And I think he said every gun he has is authentic and working.
What's the name of the range?
Something Arms, Dragon Arms.
Dragon Arms.
Yeah, look at his
Yeah,
T-shirt.
this is like 5 miles from my house.
Oh wow!
So
Yeah, look at all that.
Field trip.
And what was going on with?
I'm moving in December, remember?
Yeah, but what was
So,
going on
field
with his
trip?
Field
flag there? It was faded too.
Yeah. Go.
Hey, Jared, from where you live, what's the range of your bike?
On a single
someone's
tank.
getting hot and ready.
He has a tank out front, if I remember correctly.
I'm going.
So on a single tank. So
Well,
Bo, you're wondering what the range of my bike is on a single tank of gas?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking how many fills would it take to get you there?
About 10.
Oh,
And
yeah,
a really
do it.
sore ass.
Do it.
Well,
like it.
that's the
Make
thing.
a
The seat on my bike is actually pretty comfortable, all things considered. It's actually the vibration through the foot pegs that would suck the most.
okay. Does he?
That's a
is that
grenade.
What?
That's
What
an actual
type of? Oh, an
Yeah,
old style pineapple.
pineapple.
Yep.
Aw,
with the original
That
shipping
cute-
container it came in.
that cute little toy pineapple grenade. Aw.
One of the original
Well,
frags.
compared to the Danish hand grenade, but yeah, not the ones you use now.
Oh, wow. He has a paratrooper carbine. That's nifty.
Ah.
Look at it.
Dragon
And
Man.
and a signal flare gun also. No. Oh, I can't translate that. Damn it.
Oh, yep, that's him.
That looks
Yep.
like a gun made in a garage.
Yeah, if you look up Dragon Man, this is the guy, and he has a tank out front.
Mm.
And all the military vehicles. There's the tank.
There it is. There's one of them.
Yeah.
5 miles from my
I was
house.
gonna say, there's a tank.
Oh,
He probably owns multiple.
that's a T-55. That's a T-55.
Yeah, I was going to say it looked Russian just based off the turret.
I drove one for 6 feet before the engine died.
Hey,
This guy's got everything.
He's also the
Does he
most
have his own YouTube
conservative,
channel?
You know what?
Trump-supporting guy you will ever see.
You know what? Furball, I bet you if we get out there and let him know we want to do a segment for a veterans talk show that we run, he would show us everything.
I bet he would as well.
250-pound napalm bombs or
Oh, look at that one.
Those are practice training bombs. but
Yeah, the bluer practice.
Oh yeah, but still.
Look at that one.
This might just be worth me investing in a new DSLR and a Rode Wireless Go setup.
Yeah, and get a decent camera, a Canon. It can be
You know what?
just a P something.
Just for that, I'm gonna get whatever that drone is that Sean had just to mess with you.
Look at that barrel jump up.
Hey, as long as it's a Nikon, but not a model number that starts with P. Cool pics, that's okay, but just not the model numbers that starts with a P. Okay.
So you want a
fuck it.
P1000? Got it.
No No micro four thirds cameras, please. It doesn't have to be full frame, just not micro four thirds.
All right. Well, with that,
I wonder why Alan isn't arguing with me right now. Oh well.
He might have dozed off.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm getting off for the night, guys.
Yep, and I was about to say we're going ahead and shutting down. That way, I have a little bit of time before the start of movie night, so I can actually start getting the
function.
Well, no, so I can get the alcohol supply close enough.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so you can function. Yeah.
And dream about all those guns you just saw.
What's this you're showing now?
Holy
how the hell did you?
What the hell?
I've seen that.
I've car, not a truck.
I've seen that happen several times, actually.
I'm used to seeing, trailers. Trailers, trailer tires exploding, but
holy crap!
Ouch!
Oh my god! Was that the rotor?
How
the brake pad's fused to the rotor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen it where the brake rotor is still there.
What the?
No ABS, I guess.
Oh my god! See, and I think, I was gonna say, I think some of these we might need the sound.
Yeah, I think you got it turned up.
Right.
Hopefully you can hear.
There we go.
Oh, that looks like a cheapo Sony. No, that's an Alpine. Oh, I'm just geeking a little bit there. Yeah, Alpine radio.
I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, we're not getting the audio feed there, Jay.
All right. Wow, what the hell? Is that missing a tire?
Yep, he lost a tire. So yeah, so let's back up to this one. Okay.
It's my heater.
I can't remember how many videos I've seen from the US where people see someone driving on rims or not even rims sometimes. And they're not even drunk.
All right, with that, we're gonna have fun, and for all of those who have come and watched, thank you, and we will see you. Well, actually, so tomorrow for those interested at 2000 UTC, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Really fucking early for me.
We have the next installment of Canar with Damar. So
nice.
That will be here on this channel. And then, of course, I have to figure out what topic I'm going to talk about for the next Moto vlog on AT2 Moto and have that set for release for Thursday next week. So anyone who's not already on the Discord, if you have anything that you want to hear talked about on that side, you can send messages there. And as people know, I am somewhat active on there, but we are getting to finals week, so I will be more available in the coming week with everything coming up. So let's have some fun in the meantime. And with that, we'll see you all next week.
Fucking stop sign!